All right, party people in the place to be, vandals, and all you people in the holiday spirit. This is the Naughty or Nice episode of Pink Buzz, and we have a pretty full house tonight, man. We're gonna have a lot of really cool opinions, and we're gonna let everybody go around and introduce themselves. We'll start with right underneath me, the man in the hat. What's going on?
What's going on, gentlemen? How you guys doing tonight? Thank you for having me with Naughty and Nice special, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, man. Ready to talk shit?
Yeah, on a few categories, not all, but just a few.
I just realized I'm the only American on this show, man. That's kind of intimidating at this point.
That's true. I didn't even notice it till you mentioned it.
We're just gonna talk about healthcare for the next 20 minutes. So
yeah.
Three-quarter content. You gotta love it, man.
Yeah.
And we got Adriean LaRusso in the house. We had a pretty fun talk about Cobra Kai and the LaRusso family off air. So
I'm just here to throw punches. I'm just throwing punches. That's all I'm doing tonight. Yeah.
Shout out Cookie.
Yeah, Cookie's in the house.
And someone's taking over the House of Nerd account there. I see someone in the chat. It's not me.
Yeah, that's not you?
That wasn't you? Okay, I thought you hopped in really quick.
That's my lesser half. It's gotta be.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, so Elle's in the house then.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Tuning
cool.
in. Elle was supposed to be on, but she had some personal things she had to take care of. And Mel was supposed to be here as well, but she had to drop out because her kids, something came up with her kids. So it's going to be a sausage Christmas, man. It's we're supposed to have Elle and Mel, but they had to bow out gracefully. So
well, Elle's been acting up, so I put her on semi-permanent hiatus. I gave her some PT, some personal time. So
there you go.
Get your stuff together, Elle. Nah. I like that intro though. That got me in the mood. I was,
So, before we get into the festivities, do you and you guys have a check-in? You guys check out anything cool this week? Read anything? I personally got It's Only Teenage Wasteland, thanks to I think Adam Ward posted about it, so I went to the shop and picked it up because it looked really interesting. I got that, and I got the first issue of Art Brute, which is pretty fun, and then I got Mark Millar's Nightclub, which is kind of a vampire thing. It's off to a pretty fun start, I guess.
I picked up the Trad Moore.
Doctor Strange, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my god! Wow.
Did the first issue just drop this week, or has it been out for a bit?
Last week, 2 weeks ago. But I just picked it up this week, and my god, it is just wow. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was stuck on a page. I was just trying to draw a page in issue 5, and I just looked at that thing, and I stole so much shit from that book. It's just it's so well laid out. It's gorgeous. Reminds me a lot of Silver Surfer Black. Along that vein. So it's just a gorgeous book. Really, I love everything about it.
Yeah, he's a tremendous artist.
Nice to look at. I said it's very beautiful book to look at.
Absolutely, yeah. From the cover, front to back, it's you gotta have it. You have to own a copy. So.
Story-wise, it confused me a little bit. I wasn't sure what exactly.
Extremely confused. Somebody was high when they wrote this. Because I just wow, no, I don't know. So I plan to get just stinking drunk one night and then try it again, and then maybe something will open up. But I'm reading it, and it's funny. It's like I didn't understand what was happening, but I didn't care because it was just so beautiful to read. It's one of those cases where honestly, they could just have like a recipe for a pot roast. Spread it over 26 pages, and I wouldn't care.
As long as it looked like that, yeah.
I don't care. Yeah, well done. So yeah. That's my pick for 2022. So I'm gonna go.
Drop that mic. Actually, I think Serge has something to plug. He's got they got their awards show, the Nerdies, coming up, and you have the ballots up, right?
Yeah, man. You know, we
For
got
people to go vote.
the Nerdies, the 22 Comic Book Awards coming up January the 15th. The voting is open now. You know, we got all kinds of categories: best ongoing, cover year, you know, cover artist, best interior, you know, like the usual stuff. But the fun thing about this, what you know, we try to get the community involved as much as possible. So myself and Al, like, we curated 4 out of the 5 finalists for each category, and then the community gets to vote on. They have the option of writing in the fifth finalist. So the finalist, the write-in, the one with the most write-ins will be like the 5th finalist in each category. So yeah, you know, looking forward to it. We had lots of fun last year. We had some dope guests. We're trying to curate another dope lineup of creators.
Yeah, you had quite a few on for the show last year. I remember
whole squad of them last year. So.
Yeah. So we have the link up for the voting, for the ballots, for you guys to go vote. So if you go into descriptions, the link's there, so you could hit that and go vote for your favorites. And I think you told me people have till
the 22nd.
Midnight on the 22nd of December to get their votes in. So
yeah,
get out there and vote, people.
For sure. Some of the categories, there's like only 1 or 2 votes separating like them all. So some tight races, and then some, I won't say which ones, is like clear-cut favorites. So it's been fun watching them come in, you know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Links are in the description for that. So you know, do your civic duty, be democratic about it. Like, it's awesome that Sergio is giving you this opportunity. So do your part, rock the vote, like MTV used to say.
There's the award right there. This is this year's version, the 2022.
Oh hell yeah! Look at that guy. Whoops.
Oh.
I didn't mean to drop that.
Johnny's pulling an L on fucking Serge on our show.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, man, we're excited. Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. All right,
Johnny didn't like the trophy. He said he got one look at it. He said that's not for me. He took me out of the broadcast.
Yeah. I didn't really. I haven't been to the comic shop in I think it'll be 3 weeks now. So I'm probably gonna go tomorrow and pick up my. I've cut back quite a bit this year, so my pull box doesn't get out of control if I don't go every week. So I can afford to take 3 weeks away from the shop nowadays. Yeah. Back then, man, they used to have to get a short box for me if I'd go 2-3 weeks without going to the shop. I'd fill up a short box back in 2021, but we're 2022 now, and I slashed my pull right down to.
Mine too.
I've tried to put it down to 1 comic a day. So maybe 30 issues a month is the goal I'm trying to keep faithful to.
Which is, pretty reasonable, to be honest.
Yeah.
But even that, it's a lot.
That's a lot still, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that is still a lot. Yeah.
I was just getting so much stuff, and I couldn't keep up with the monthly with everything. I'm so far behind that I was like, why am I buying all this stuff if I can't even read it? So
yeah.
Johnny, what did you think of It's Only Teenage Wasteland? Because we had those guys on the show a couple weeks back. The whole creative team, actually.
I liked it a lot. It really reminded me of a classic indie book. It reminded me of something that I'd have read when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? So it kind of really brought me back to time and place. I liked the art a lot. It had a really kind of classic look to it. Almost a Fantagraphics feel. I dig it, man. Hernandez Brothers-esque. Really, really kind of groovy little indie book. At least off the first issue.
For sure. Yeah. Did you like that twister at the end? Did you see that coming?
No, not really. It's gonna be a good one to keep your eye on. It's gonna be a 6-issue little mini.
I think it's 4.
4? Okay, yeah.
I think it's 4.
Yeah, Dark Horse usually does 4 or 6. So that's why I was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. We had the chance to read the first 3 issues, so it was cool, man.
Oh, okay. So you know how you got spoilers and shit. Good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but Yeah, it's
No,
cool.
I-
I think you're gonna enjoy it, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, anybody else have anything to check in with? No. So, all right. Let's get to who's nice and who's naughty. Then
Mm.
you got everything set up, Johnny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're
So
gonna
what's
start out. We're gonna start off with new for you or old new. This is basically a book or a movie or a piece of media, basically that's not particularly brand new to this year, but we found it and we really liked it this year. So like, and we're gonna start with Joe because I always make Joe go last. So Joe's gonna go first this time.
All
Joey,
right. Cool.
what's your old
Uh,
new?
I got the Freak by Matt Lesniewski. I read this last year. I ordered it off his site. He signed and remarked it. And this is a fantastic book. If you're not familiar with him, you might have seen his more recent work. He did a Zoop crowdfund for The Faceless Man, or I think that's what it was called. Anyway, just recently. He did issue 2 or 3 of Mind Management Bootleg with Matt Kent. And he's a collaborator with Matt Kent because he did Crimson Flower as well with Matt Kent for Dark Horse in 2020, I believe. So, and he has his own graphic novel out that he put out with Dark Horse as well called Static as well. And that I haven't gotten to yet. It's in my it's on my to read pile, but I can't wait to get to that because this guy's he posts a lot of stuff on. If you follow him on Instagram, he's constantly posting stuff he's working on. He often does a lot of live videos while he's drawing and stuff. So he's a good follow on Instagram. And this guy has like a style all on his own. Like you see his stuff and right away you know who it is. Like if you're familiar with him, like he's got quite the unique style. So, and man, that The Freak was great. It's a great book visually. It's a black and white. And it's I highly recommend anyone go pick that up. It's really good, really good.
I like the art on the front there. Reminds me a little bit of Felipe Andrade.
That's
A
nice.
little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of gives me a Sam Keith kind of feel too, but like not painted though.
Like, man, I could open a few pages there.
Yeah, that's
it's
cool.
Really like just straight up line work. Like
I love that.
No shading. It's really clean, really cool. Like there's some bigger pages he draws too, where you can really like it's really cool. Like his style is fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I love it. This was a great book. Oh, here's a good one where you get like the faces and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's all. I got a Morbius touch to it a little bit. Nice.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Sorry, who's the publisher?
This was who published this? Was it self-published? No, this was it was Abrams. Let's go see now. Ad House, sorry. Ad House.
That's what I was going to say. It looked like an Ad House book.
Yeah, Ad House is the one who put it up.
Just went out of business too, man. I feel
Did they?
bad for them. They shut down. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Naughty 2022 list there.
Yeah. Next up, we're going to go with Adriean. What's your old new?
This is so sad. This is sad. So I finally watched Game of Thrones. So it's funny. It's like I'm just like as I'm going through. I binged it. So I started about a month ago, and then so I binged from I'm 2 episodes away from finishing this thing. And along the last month, I kept wanting to talk to somebody because I was like, there's a lot of oh my god moments, right? But fuck, everyone's already watched this thing. It's come and gone, right? I'm just like I'm on my own, but holy shit! I remember this thing first. Yeah.
Did you find it was too dark? Like
no.
The lighting? Everyone was bitching about the lighting. It was too dark. You can't see shit.
Fuck. You know what?
That was the second to last episode, I think, where everybody was complaining about it being too dark.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
It was in the final season anyway.
It's funny because I just finished watching is it Ring of Power? Rings of Power or Ring of Power?
Amazon. Yeah, the Amazon. Yeah.
I love that, right? And then I started Game of Thrones, and it's like I was trying to explain to someone where the Rings of Power or whatever was like, oh man, it was like getting kissed on the first date, Game of Thrones, if someone like spreads their ass cheeks on their first date, it was just like I'm sitting there and it's like I'm like, oh look, a baby. Oh my god. It's just like you just and then the one thing I've really like enjoyed is like how they the character arcs. Each character, like, just where they started to the ones that survived to where they ended up is just incredible writing. And it's funny, it's like I went in there I had sort of, because just an idea of a couple of characters, but I had no idea afterwards. Like Arya Stark became probably my favorite character out of the whole lot.
Her storyline was pretty cool, yeah.
Unbelievable. So I get why everyone was excited the last whatever. So it's just absolute, and then Daenerys, just seeing her go mad, really, kind of near the end, and then the reveal of Jon Snow and his lineage, and oh fuck, there's like a dozen things you could talk about. Like it was just unbelievable, and so I'm kind of excited because they're talking about like a Jon Snow series. So
I think it got some bad at the end because it just became trendy to rip on it. Like I didn't think the final season wasn't great, but it wasn't half as bad as everyone was whining about. Like it's just
yeah. Listen, no, sticking a landing is hard. Really, it's there. Like you can go through I don't know how many like series well received that actually like
have a good ending. Yeah,
right. Seinfeld was an awful ending.
TV, film, comics. It's the most difficult thing, man.
It's so hard. It's so hard. Right? Look at the Lord of the Rings, right? Return of the King. Fuck, he did it 5 times at the end, right? He's hoping one of them was like the good one, right? He's like, fuck it, put all in there, in there. So I'll figure it out.
All the endings, man. The Scooby Doo ending, the happy ending, the sad ending.
But you know what? I know people were complaining about the last season, season 8, but I'm really enjoying it. Just kind of seeing like the end of certain character, storylines and the possibilities that they can go from there, and and I understand how difficult it is to come up with an ending, that'll satisfy people, and I get how it's different than the first few seasons. It kind of lost a little bit of its grittiness and courage almost, right? Because the first few seasons, it was like, man, it's like if you thought the worst, they would do the worst. There was nothing was holding them back. Yeah. There was like no fear in the writing, for the first little bit, and.
The books
nothing was off the table.
Nothing was off table. It's like even with Ramsay Bolton, when he killed his dad, and then he then leads his dad's wife or whatever and the baby into the kennel, and I'm like, they're not. I was like, oh Jesus, like
crazy.
Yeah. It has some moments for sure.
Wow, I just can't imagine like them sitting around the writing room, and the one guy's like, okay, we're gonna try this scene, right? And just like sitting there, like one guy must have been like, no, we can't do this, like we just can't. It's a baby, right? So
it's probably one demented guy in the fucking writing room that's like, all right, I'm gonna get all my fantasies on screen now, and like
this was someone really had their fill. So anyway, so I'm a few episodes away, so don't say shit, please.
Or maybe one of the writers used to be a therapist and just pulled out his notes. What are some of the most despicable things? Oh, here's one fucking from one of my old clients. Let's put that on screen.
Did you lose something? Yeah.
Just shout out to Thierry's in the chats. How's it going, man? Yeah. All right, so that's.
I'm up next. I'm going to go with Decorum by Jonathan Hickman, and with art by, what's his name? Hiddleston, by Mike Hiddleston. It's, I wanted to read it when it was coming out, but like I just trade wait, and then I got told that it wasn't going to get a trade. It was getting a hardbound, and it took forever for it to come out. I think it originally ran in 2018? So,
just leading into the pandemic. Yeah.
But like, my sister took me to the comic book shop in the city and got that for me. I think the day before I got put in the hospital the second time. So it's pretty important to me because, like, for a minute there, I thought it might be the last comic book I ever read. So it was kind of touch and go there for me for a minute. But yeah, Decorum really kind of pulled me through. It was a really wonderful story. Not my favorite Hickman book, but definitely up there. It reminded me more of his early stuff, kind of like the Red Wing or like Pax Romana, his kind of trippier stuff. But really fun, really kind of cute story. Kind of one of his most heartwarming things he wrote. Not really too revolutionary like a lot of his works are. You know, like how he's got like themes of revolution in all his work. It's not really too present in this one, or it is, but like not as punk rock as his normal stuff is. But yeah, that's my pick. Serge, what you got going on? Or
what was it Blacktop Wasteland, Joey? Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, Blacktop Wasteland. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
So it's so funny. I've had this book for a couple years now. And it's just kind of been sitting there, and I always meant to get to it. And this year, I said finally, I'm gonna start reading again. I used to be like a heavy reader, so that was the first one that kind of that I chose to read. I think it came out maybe a good 3-4 years ago now. Yeah, man, just it definitely lived up to the hype. S.A. Cosby's the writer, fantastic stuff. I picked up his other joint. I want to say it's called Tears of the Sun. I could be wrong. But yeah, it's about a career driver, getaway driver.
Mm-hmm.
He's been out of the game for a while. He's got a family now. He's trying to move away from that stuff. But life circumstances, they're difficult. You got expenses. You got a kid getting ready to go to college. You got 2 younger kids, things of that nature, a sick mother or something like that. So he's kind of like forced. He doesn't have many options. His business is failing. He's a mechanic. He decides to get back into the game and hopefully his last score. And it's a fantastic story, man. Pedal to the metal, man, from page one, and emotional too. For sure.
Cool.
Yeah. I say Cosby, man. He's definitely a writer. I recommend anybody check out his works. Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay.
I like Wheelman stories, so hell yeah.
Yeah.
We're all getting there, so we can relate. Yeah. All right.
Next category is. Go ahead.
Oh. Sorry, I was gonna say, just to follow up Joe, I'm so scared to watch Cocoon now. But because remember when it came out, you're like, bunch of old fucks. Why do I watch a movie about old people, right? Now it's like, I bet I'm fucking older than Wilford Brimley was in that movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're tripping me out. It's true.
They swim.
What's that?
Right? Because they swim in the pool. It's like the fountain of youth, right? Because the cocoon's in there,
Yeah.
so they feel all yeah.
Fuck,
I gotta find
dude.
myself an in-ground pool with a cocoon in it.
Dude,
Man.
I kill for that pool right now. I need that pool. Oh my god.
Say it for us, Adrian. Say diabetes. Come on, man.
Hey, you know what's funny? Speaking of which, actually, you know what's funny? I posted a Wilford Brimley tweet, and he fucking liked it like a week or two before he died. So I have like a Wilford Brimley like. That's a little tweet. So there you go. A little bit of full circle. Yeah.
All right, Pete. Pour one out for the big homie, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
I can't really.
There you go. How about for you? What do you drinking tonight? What do you guys got? I got a little Stella action going on.
I just have a Red Bull and some water. I have my nephew, so I didn't have time to go.
Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, from Banded Peak Brewing, and I think they're from Calgary. I believe they're from. Fucking need my reading glasses. See, I need my reading glasses to read a fucking beer label. Jesus. Calgary.
And you're out in Alberta, yeah?
Yeah, we're we're in Edmonton.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make Crazy Caucasians, but I just didn't have time tonight. I was racing against the clock. So
I think we got enough of them on the show already, man.
yeah.
Actually, that's what I've heard of my family as. Hey.
Yeah. So what's up, Johnny?
Next up, category is music. Joey, what you got for us, man?
I started because last year's New Year's resolution was I was going to try to listen to a new album every week. So I've been listening to a lot of newer music. So this year, because of Patrick Kidlin, and I read his Frontiersman, I started listening to Drug Church because I found out he was also the frontman for Drug Church and really dug him. And they put out Hygiene this year, and I went and saw them live as well. They put on a great show. That's a great album. Probably my second favorite Drug Church album. So their most recent is very good. Then you got Cheat Codes from Danger Mouse that just got put out this year. It's a really good hip hop album. Danger Mouse is fantastic. Anything he does is usually pretty good. And Hammered Halls is fronted by Alec McKay, who's brothers with Ian McKay from Fugazi, and he's an old school hardcore guy from the Washington area. And this is his new band that they just formed maybe during the pandemic, and they put out their first full-length album, which is pretty good, man. I listened to it, and yeah, there's a few times where he sings, and he sounds like Nicolas Cage from what's the movie? Fucking guy in the green suit. Fuck, I can't even think of the name.
Gumby?
No, the Mylar hit. With Hit Girl.
Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass, yeah. You know where they have Nicolas Cage in the chair and he's burning and he's screaming orders at his daughter? Yeah. There's times where he's singing and it just makes me think of Nick Cage sitting in that and just screaming out orders to... it's funny. Every time I start laughing when I'm listening to the album when he gets those cards because I just think of Nick Cage on fire. So those three albums are... I listened to a lot of older stuff, but those are the three albums that from 2022 that I listened to this year that were pretty damn good. So, yeah.
Adriean, what's up, bro?
Yes. Okay, so
that's
my
album cover.
My nice pick is Tropical Goth Club. So it's a solo project. Dean Fertitta. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Anyways, he's from Queens of Stone Age and The Dead Weather, and I just came across this like about a month ago. So my friend Ryan, who usually kind of feeds me with music, he just kind of passes along. And, I'm kind of sitting there at work and this thing's just kind of playing in the background. And when something's playing in the background, you kind of stop for a sec. And you just sort of like, Jesus. And then it's a good desert rock album. There's a lot of Queens of Stone Age vibes in it, as well as The Dead Weather. So he recorded this during the pandemic. I think like in his garage or whatever. He had some downtime because I don't think anybody was touring at the time, and just put out this like just this gorgeous album. Like even the cover too, right? Yeah. So highly recommend it. It's shockingly addictive. Like this is like one of those like rare front to back albums.
Yeah.
And and you just don't really come across those too often. And this one I just like. It's my go-to right now. It really is. So it's always like that, at arm's reach. So as for my naughty list, the new Arctic Monkeys, fuck man, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I love this band like for the first 3 or 4 albums. And then, man, they just got all like, they're like singing songs for your mom and dad at this point. They just like, I remember when they first came out, whatever, they're all like, kind of like, let's fucking do this, right? And now it's like, shoo-be-doo-ba, shoo-be. It's this whole doo-wop bullshit, right? And it's like, so my friend Ryan, like, who loves Arctic Monkeys, to death, he's trying to sell me on this album. I'm like, I fucking can't do it. I can't do it. It's a god-awful album, and they should be embarrassed about themselves at this point. I don't know what it is. I put up with their last album, which was kind of like the same vein. I thought, okay, it's a good one-off, right? They got it out of them, and they just can't shake the They just can't shake it. So I apologize if anyone here is an Arctic Monkeys fan, but it's fucking terrible.
The only time I really paid attention to them was when they made that one movie where Patty Considine was their roadie, and like, it was a weird movie. But that's the only time I've ever really listened to them.
Yeah, I just yeah. So I didn't know we could pick 3 though, 3 good ones. So I'm like, fuck, I would have like had a list, but
Yeah.
those are my picks.
For me, going nice, I got School Drugs. They're pretty much like a old school hardcore band. I'm talking like punk rock hardcore, like Black
Nice.
Flag, Old School Bad Religion. They got a 2-song EP out right now called Absolution. A lot of fun, man. Like really makes me want to get out and skateboard again. I know I'm just gonna blow my bad knee out, but it puts bad thoughts into my head. Next up, I have Rosemary Stillwater by Mortality Rate. Really, really good female-fronted hardcore band, almost metalcore. Really, really solid breakdowns. Probably some of the best breakdowns ever. Like, just a really good band. Can't recommend them highly enough. And last, I have the 3-song EP, Your Fault by Horse the Band. It's their first record in like over 7 years. A lot of fun. Really good cover of March of the Pigs on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just good. I don't know, kind of punk rock with keyboards, like Nintendo style keyboards mixed in with it. Just really good, really kind of high energy music. Pretty angry, but not too bad. Not gonna make your ears bleed or anything like that.
Johnny, you probably like the way you're describing School Drugs. You probably like the Chats.
Oh yeah,
right,
definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
God damn, I love that band. So they got a new album called Get Fucked. Came out this year. So that would have been on my list. So I love that band.
When I went and saw Drug Church was opening for the Chats and the Bronx. So I just saw the Chats recently.
Yeah. So if you like the Chats, there's also another Australian band called the Eddie Curran Suppression Ring. So I think they came out a few years before the Chats, and so I think they're like the godfathers of like Australian, like, I don't know, modern punk or.
Like party punk is what I'd call that. So that's what it really makes me want to like just like have some beers, pretend I'm 21 again.
Yeah, actually, go on a wormhole of Australian punk. Like it's shockingly good.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
And Sergio.
Yeah, my nice list, Don FM from the weekend. I think it dropped literally like the first week in 2022. So just qualified. But I was telling Joey, I don't listen to like a lot of new music.
Yeah,
honestly, I stick to my 90s and my 80s.
That's me too. That's why last year my New Year's resolution was I got to get out of my comfort, like just reach out there and try to find new stuff, because I was just listening to the same old shit all the time, right? I'd find a few singles here and there, like through the suggestions through my Spotify. I'd just add like a song here or there.
Right.
And I was like, why don't I like this song. Why don't I go check out their albums? They must have an album out of their whole discography that I'll like. And I started doing that, and man, I discovered so many more bands that I love now because of that. And
I got to do the same. I do listen to new music, but it's like it's all single. It's 99% of the new music is like
streaming, right? That's what it is now.
And like singles and stuff like that. So, but in terms of like albums and artists, I don't follow anybody these days. Man.
Well, that's the way it is now. The industry now is you put out one song, put it on Bandcamp. If you get a million downloads, then you're in business, right? The industry's changed so much. It's not an album based industry. It's not like you get signed to a label, put out this album. Now it's like make your own shit, make a viral video for it, like film it yourself, put it on YouTube, put it on Bandcamp. If it hits, then you build from there, right? That's the way a lot of it's done now. So
I could probably count on two hands how many brand new like albums I've listened to, front to back this year. The Weeknd's on FM being one of them. I really enjoyed it. It's got it's heavily influenced, from new wave and that synth wave vibe. Think Depeche Mode, Duran Duran, something like a bit of a concept album for the weekend. But
where's he? He's from somewhere in Ontario, right?
He's from Toronto, man.
He's from Toronto. I thought he was
Toronto,
from a small
Scarborough,
town.
man.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from Scarborough.
Okay,
Yeah.
now Scarborough,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of his earliest videos is him, just a regular dude. He's singing down at Yonge and Dundas Square, which is like our kind of I think I listened to. Yeah, very few. But yeah. So he's from Toronto, local guy. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it was right up my alley. It's got that dark wave, that new wave vibe to it, that electronic influence. So it was great, man. I really, and what was so cool is I didn't realize it till like maybe 6 months after it dropped, was there's a couple interludes throughout, and it was actually narrated by Jim Carrey. Which was really cool. So it's a trip and a half. It's a great album, man. I mean, there's one or two, very mainstream poppy tracks that I didn't care for, but other than that,
after recording and releasing those little interludes by Jim Carrey, did he then slam it after, saying it was garbage and shit, and he didn't like it?
I don't think so. Not on this one, man.
I'm with L. Fire up the auto tune, Serge. We want to hear some bars, man.
I can't do that, man. I wish I had the voice for that, man. I'd be on TikTok all day, man.
See, I'm gonna cheat because there was one song I wanted to put on my naughty list, but then when I went and looked, I realized it came out in 2021. But I'm gonna say I hate it anyway. That stupid Friday song
by Rebecca Black. That came out a long time ago.
No,
dude.
It's Friday again. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. We put the radio on for the animals, like, and when I get home from work, my wife picks the station that the animals listen to. So when I get home from work, I just wouldn't turn it off. I'd start like getting supper ready, and that fucking song every Friday would play like in a span of 3 hours. It'd play once every hour, and I was like, man, I fucking hate this song. I almost like fucking grabbed that radio and fucking smashed it one Saturday. I must have had a bad Friday at work or something. When I got home, that fucking song was playing. I swear I almost fucking lost it. I was like, fuck. Hate that song.
Is there any bands that you guys like you still hold on to from like junior high school? Like, do you still follow? Like, do you still buy their albums or listen to their albums? What you guys got?
Rancid, the Dropkick Murphys.
A
couple other bands like that. Flog and Molly.
See, even like the older stuff that like I still listen to Deftones, but it's their first couple albums only, right? I don't listen to their new stuff, right? Like Nirvana, I still play their stuff all the time.
But bands that are still going today, though, right? Like, like it's funny. Like, this is so like I actually got back into, for some reason, Midnight Oil this year.
Okay.
And I loved them like in junior high, like to death. And like fuck, all of a sudden like Peter Garrett had a solo album out this year, and then Midnight Oil had an album out this year, and it was just like a total like weird flashback.
I didn't know they had a new album. That's cool. I'll have to check that out.
It's fantastic, right? I love that band to death, right? And so I started listening to their oldest stuff, and it's just funny. I'm going back to stuff that I just that I treasured in junior high school, like Depeche Mode, and I still listen to U2. Like U2, I still listen to religiously, right? I don't care that they put their album on a phone. I was like, cool, thank you, free album, right? I was like, I think I was the only one that was like appreciative of it.
9 Inch Nails. You know who I'll listen to any soundtrack or score that has Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross on it.
It's funny today at work. Today at work I was listening to the Social Network soundtrack. I just like it's comfort listening for me, right? It's like I'll put in the movie because it's comfort viewing, right? It's just
I think my favorite is probably maybe the Gone Girl score was great.
That's right. Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah. And then he also did the soundtrack. They did the soundtrack for the remake of Girl with Dragon Tattoo, the Daniel Craig, Rooney Mara one. So I love that as well. And pick up their album Ghosts. It's under 9 Inch Nails, but Ghosts. So it's along the same vein as the stuff he did for Social Network. And Gone Girl, and there's actually like it almost feels like there's like demos of like some of the songs that are in the soundtracks that are on this album as well. So that one, and then also How to Destroy Angels, I think that's another one of Trent Reznor's side projects.
Okay.
The same electronic vibe. So
I love
What's
that
the
guy,
new
man.
one that's all the buzz that came out recently? That came out this year. Him and Ross did one.
A soundtrack or
Yeah, soundtrack.
well, they did Souls, right? The Disney thing.
Yeah, they did like
Or-
a Disney.
He did the soundtrack to
no.
that, didn't he?
No, it wasn't Souls, but it's some. It was for a feature film, but
they do a lot. Like they do a lot.
Yeah.
And it's good. Like it's.
yeah,
I'm gonna figure this out.
yeah. I'm
Oh,
looking at it
right.
now.
Okay, just ignore it. Yeah. Everyone, shut up.
What's next? What's next category, Johnny?
Next up, we're gonna get some fun hot takes on this one. We're gonna be doing shows, and we're gonna start with Joe's
shows.
shows.
All right. So, man, like
Oh, you picked 4? God.
what? Well, I in the description I said you could pick 1 to 3 for nice and just 1 for naughty because we don't want to turn it into like Bitch Fest 2022.
Who reads?
Yeah, that's it. Too long did not read, right?
Like Adrian over here signing up for an iPad and stuff. Like,
So yeah, obviously I got Sandman's probably my favorite show of the year by far,
Yeah.
easily. Fantastic adaptation. I mean,
I love it.
almost perfect, like flawless adaptation.
Yeah.
She-Hulk was. I mean, people rip on it, but I mean, it's a sitcom, right? It just
Dude, that
happens
show
to be
was fun.
It just happens to be a fucking superhero show, but it's a straight up sitcom. Like,
Yeah.
even if she's not She-Hulk, if she's just a lawyer with like, I mean, it's a comedy. It's a sitcom.
Mhm.
Then after that, I have Yellowstone. Pat and I just started watching that this year, and we just binged straight through it. Like Johnny said, sucker for an old man. Kevin Costner's old, but he's still kicking ass. Like, I love his character in that. He's so, yeah. There's some brutal scenes in there, like where they go into the office and give the lawyer daughter an ass whooping. That was brutal. Those scenes, man. It's a good show, though. I definitely highly recommend Yellowstone. It's a fun show.
It's
And
on my to-do
naughty,
list.
yeah. And my naughty, I cheated. I do the naughty because of the content of the show, not that I don't like it. So The Boys makes my naughty list because of the content. I enjoyed the 3rd season, and man, it's there's some scenes in there that are just
Joe.
damn.
You're fucking high. You're fucking high.
I was
Right
gonna
now.
say, but hold on. Let me just to clarify. It's
Yeah.
naughty because of the content, not the quality.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's naughty because it's a naughty show, not because he doesn't like it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got because I was ready.
Now I don't like that show, so like,
Stop it, Johnny. Stop.
Oh,
Come on.
fucking hell.
That's probably the best comic book show that there's ever been. Period, man.
I won't say the best, but
Pretty close.
I enjoyed the 2nd season, the 3rd season a lot. Like it definitely, like where they just start kicking what's his name's ass. Like Pat and I were on the couch, like, fucking yeah, tear him a new one. Like we were fucking yelling at the TV, like, kick his fucking ass. Where they team up the 3 of them on Homelander. That was when they're in the orgy house there, and they do the 3-way team up to beat up Homelander. Holy shit!
man.
We were yelling at the TV, like, fucking give it to him, like that scene alone made the 3rd season for me.
So good.
It was great. Yeah.
Oh, somebody mentioned Invincible. I totally fucking forgot about Invincible.
Did that come out in 2022? That was in 21.
that was last
okay.
year, and they haven't done a new season yet. So like,
Okay. Never mind. That was good, though.
That was good, yeah.
Yeah. But I agree with She-Hulk, though. I really, I don't know why. I just got numb to all like the hate, towards that show.
Yeah.
It was fun. Like everybody in my house hated it. I was the only one that enjoyed it, right? So it's like I would look forward to it every week to watch it. I try to watch it. I got these 3 yokels that are like, just blah, 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 So it's like, fucking hell. But no, I love the lightness of it. I liked her in both forms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was great. I mean,
it was, it had a few things, right? Like looking back, obviously I love Daredevil being in there, and like how they kind of like slipped in his like theme song and all that, and but kind of near the end I kind of look back and thought, well, they kind of sort of camped him up a little bit too much.
Sure.
And the
Right.
Daredevil walk of shame, man, loved it.
Yeah,
like it was awesome.
Yeah, but then you think though, it's like they'll probably go into was it Born Again? That'll be the new series. They'll probably darken it up, and then we'll probably get like the proper.
We'll see.
We'll see, right?
I want Disney to give me like a Netflix style Marvel show.
Well, to me, it's like in the comics. If Daredevil was to show up in a She-Hulk comic, he'd be a little silly in it. You know what I mean? So like, Daredevil on the show would, like, if he's going to show up and be on She-Hulk, he's going to be a little silly. It's not his show.
And I think people need to remember that too. It's like in comics, right? Because different writers, right? Will have different tones and stuff, right? Certain titles and all that. This is just how it is, right? You just get different versions, right? It's like we got what 3 or 4 different on-screen Batmans. Well,
and don't get me wrong, because I'm not a big Disney Plus MCU fan. If anything, I'm the opposite. Like people love Loki. I fucking loathe that show. I hate it. I fucking hate it. That show should be fucking wiped off the face of the earth, except for one, with the exclusion of one episode. The rest of it is just fucking garbage. And the fucking final episode with that never-ending goddamn monologue, like, I fucking turned it off. I was like,
Joey, tell us how you really feel, buddy.
Fuck it. Listen, Phase 4 was so challenging, and they put in so much shit within this last year. It was too much. Like I said, it burned me out. We were talking to you guys before the show started. Mm-hmm. It's burned me out. And looking back, I think, like I like She-Hulk, but really I think my favorite thing was still, Falcon and Winter Soldier, just because
I enjoyed that. And people,
when you watch it, but you got to watch it in one sitting.
Yeah, watch it like a movie.
It's a movie, and it's a very good movie. I don't think it was great as an individual whatever show. It needed to be like a one shot, but the rest
people shit on that show, the Winter Soldier one. Like
the bad guy could have been a little better. The villain was kind of weak in it. Like I see some flaws, but
Wyatt or the girl,
the girl. I liked the bad Cap. The girl that could somehow beat up the Falcon, Winter Soldier, and the Captain America by herself. I was just like, who are you, man? Like, what is going on with this? It was a little.
But she does have the super soldier.
So do all three of them.
But the thing that Winter Soldier taught me is that I don't listen to anything that has to do with movies or shows anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's too many idiots that don't know anything about the comics, and they're like, that's not my Captain America. No, it's not, because he's not Captain America. He's U.S. fucking agent. It's not Captain America. And and people were freaking out. Like, go educate yourself a little bit.
This literally happened in the comics.
And
I love the John Walker storyline in the Captain America comics. It's one of my favorite storylines. I love it to death, and I was so excited for this character, and that's probably one of the reasons why I love that series so much, is because I got U.S. Agent. I got a really good U.S. Agent, and I think because of him mainly, I'm really looking forward to Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Well, that, and they really redeemed Zemo in that show too, which I didn't like Zemo very much in Civil War, but I thought he was amazing, and Falcon the Soldier with the gun.
Right?
Is there one line that was used more that year than the fucking Zemo nightclub dance, man? Everybody was using that fucking shit. It was crazy.
Love him.
Crazy.
I love Daniel. Daniel Bruhl is like the greatest. Yeah.
So, Adriean, hot take right there. I know some people are going to be pissed, but let us hear it.
Okay, let's start. Yeah, let's start naughty first.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
Dahmer, I watched it, okay, and then at one point I commented to somebody that it felt to me like a gritty Napoleon Dynamite remake. and it just kind of just ruined it for me, and I couldn't fucking take it anymore. Like the dialogue and the interact. I understand in real life. I'm guessing the cops were this insanely incompetent, but like some of the lines where like he brings the cops into his apartment, and they're like, "What's that smell?" "Oh, the pork chops." there's fucking no pork chop's going to smell that bad. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I've cooked bad pork chops in my day, but it's like, it didn't smell like a fucking murder scene. You know what I mean? It was just like, I don't know what it was. It was just so dumb. Like, I don't know.
I think
I didn't even have any need to watch it. I haven't seen it, and I don't really have a need to watch it. Like, I know the story very well, and it just, I don't know.
It's just like, you know, and it's like, I don't know how many times it's like, you know,
they got to tell the story because they
I know
made like hella movies about it. Like, that's how Jeremy Renner got famous, by playing Jeffrey Dahmer in a film. You know, so like, how many?
Yeah, like I said, I just man, I don't know. I just, yeah.
And your nice looks like something you drew yourself, though, man. I mean, like,
son of a bitch.
That's so Adriean looking.
Yeah.
So Cleo is a German series. I can't remember how many episodes there were. I think there was like 8 episodes. So it centers around Cleo Straub. This is before the fall of the Berlin Wall. So she is an East German operative. And so she goes on this assassination mission and all that, kills somebody off, and then she ends up getting framed, basically for someone saying she was like passing off files to West Germany. She gets framed, goes to prison. The Berlin Wall comes down, so she's considered a political prisoner, is released. And all of a sudden, it's a revenge series at that point on. And so she just basically goes on this brilliant killing spree. She's very cold. You know, and then it's funny, she's one of those actresses, or one of the characters where she goes like cold, like vicious to like the most sweetest angelic face. It's impossible to hate her. You love her to death. Mm-hmm. And I had a really tough time watching this because I'm like, fuck, right? Because it's like, you know, there's a lot of little bits like in the Chekhovy book, right? You know, because I got a character that you guys will see eventually in issue 3 named Ula. And Ula is a lot like Cleo, and it's so, you know, so I'm trying to mention as much as I can, so it's not like I'm copying this, but yeah, I mean, Cleo is just it's just fast, and it's the ending is not really what you expect. It was really it was heartbreaking, you know, very family orientated. It was just a sad ending. But
what's it on?
You know, it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, and it's just like, honestly, you get so hooked on this thing. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous show. I love it to death. So
that sounds cool.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I want to mention though too, because I didn't do like the full list. I just want to just sneak in there. Well, obviously Andor. I don't know. Like, did you guys hit up Andor?
Oh my gosh!
I'm about half through. I like it so far.
Fuck, man! I just like
so good, man.
Oh, you know, it's funny. Like, I remember, like, I watched first episodes and I tweeted. I'm like, oh, fell asleep. First episodes of Andor, right?
Yeah.
Immediately, like, third episode on, I was just like absolutely hooked. Like, it is just honestly, like, without a word of lie, like, it is the best Star Wars property that I've watched. It really is.
Easily for me, the
it's
just post Disney Star Wars content.
There's no fucking Jedi in there. There's no, like, you know, annoying. There's droid in there, but he's not annoying. Actually, the droid is so just, oh my god, you just want to hug him. I want to adopt this droid. Oh, I just fucking love this guy, right? Yeah. But it's so funny. You know what, too? And I won't really ruin anything, but there was a scene. Sergio, you might know this. There's a scene where someone's giving this heartfelt monologue. They planned to drop the first F-bomb in Star Wars.
I heard about that.
And I just, like, I read that. I'm like, oh my god, that would have been absolutely fucking perfect. It would have been like it would have been up there with, like, you know, I have the high ground, right? You know what I mean? Or the hello there. It would have been that moment. But my god, like that, you know, just whew. And then Andy Serkis.
I think, because sometimes, listen, man, it's not crude or anything, but sometimes just, you know, a good old, you know, F-bomb, just, you know, really.
You need that moment needed it. And it would have just like absolutely hammered it. But I'm looking forward to season 2 because I'm almost confident that by the end of season 2, they're going to go directly into Rogue One. Yeah. How Rogue One went directly into A New Hope.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm so looking forward to that bridge. And now
You know what I loved about that show was all like it was like the day-to-day, the boots on the ground stuff from the Empire, the Mythos building, and
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
like,
it's funny. It was so
oh,
real that you think like, okay, well, this guy's gonna go take a shit, right?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Right?
Dude, I
Where
love
in
that
none of the
shit.
movies, right? I thought, well, Han Solo's gonna go, take a piss, right? You know what I mean? It never
Yeah.
crossed my mind that, that Luke Skywalker, might have diarrhea, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never
Have bowel
but
movements. Yeah.
this one is like it's so real. It's just, it's the most grounded, and I love Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was the most grounded. This just goes right to the dirt, and it's oh my Lord. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think really the only Disney stuff that I really can say I thoroughly enjoyed was Rogue One and Andor, and then to a certain extent the first, I guess, sequel was okay. But really, was it
Force Awakens?
The first of the new trilogy?
Yeah, Force Awakens. Yeah,
Force Awakens. That was okay.
It was fine. Yeah,
fine. But
I
really,
can tell you though,
Rogue One, Andor on a whole nother level, man.
I'm gonna tell you though, I'm actually, you know what? Like to me, like Disney's really fucking up Marvel with the whole Phase 4 thing. But honestly, I think they've been nearly spot on with the Star Wars content.
The TV shows, at least. The movies have been hit or miss, except for Rogue One. Like the movies are pretty bad.
But the shows like Mandalorian,
the shows are great,
and the Book of Boba Fett, and then Obi-Wan. I mean, goddamn, that the final scene with him and Vader, whatever, right? When you kind of like the helmet kind of gets broken, and then the voice of Anakin is mixing in with Vader, right? So it's like you're kind of like you're witnessing like a live death of Anakin. And it was just like fucking so well done. So I don't know if it's like maybe like Disney's more hands off and leaving it to Filoni and Favreau to kind of do their thing with that, like a complete separate. It feels separate than whatever. Because like what I find right now with Marvel, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel it's like, why is every show, movie, or whatever? Why do they have to integrate like a kid into? You know what I mean? It's like. Like there's always like like the kid, right? Like sidekick or whatever. It just kind of feels like the same character in each whatever. It's like they're obviously leading up to like a Young Avengers show, right? But I'm at the point where I don't give a shit, if they release one. It just feels very Disney, I guess, to me right now.
Yeah, working up to do like the Champions, I would think, right? With the characters they're introducing, the kid ones.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Young Avengers or whatever, right?
I'm hanging on.
Yeah. The new CW, man. That's what the fucking Disney Plus Marvel shows are turning into. The new CW.
There you go.
I wouldn't say they're that bad.
Well,
yeah, pretty damn
I like Gotham. I like Gotham. Gotham was good though.
That was Fox, so that wasn't CW. Right. That was a Fox show.
Gotham.
We can rip on. We're gonna get to rip on. Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, there you go. Okay.
We're gonna get to rip on Disney more later, so we might as well move on. So you're up next, right, Johnny?
Yeah. I'm gonna start with my nutty. Like I don't know if anybody else watched the Resident Evil show, but oh my god, oh dude, it was actually pretty funny in parts though. Like it's in some parts I would say it's so good that it's bad, but like dude. Like the teenage melodrama that they set up for the backbone of the show, who cared, dude? Who thought to turn Resident Evil into Degrassi was the idea to take it forward, man? Like, nobody wanted that. Nobody asked for that. Like, I did like the stuff with Albert Wesker. I thought that was kind of fun with the clones and stuff. Like, that was like maybe a bit of a highlight, but, dude. And I don't think it's going to get followed up on because I'm pretty sure that show is canceled. But moving on to my nicest, I'm going to talk about This Fool from Hulu. Man, I don't think I've laughed so hard at like a comedy show in a long time, man. Not since like maybe like Brooklyn Nine-Nine started. Like this show had me rolling, and it really reminded me of when I grew up, because I grew up like basically in the barrio in California, and like all my friends were homies and stuff. So the cousin really reminded me of like a lot of my friends from junior high and high school. And yeah, dude, it took me back to time and place, and it was really heartfelt. But just If you haven't seen this fool, just watch it, man. It is just a really good, fun show, funny show. Kind of teaches you about people that are behind the times and like how it's not really their fault. It's fun, man. Like I ain't really
It
seen
is. Yeah.
anything quite like this fool. Like it's just
Nice.
a really all around odd comedy. Especially if you like Latin humor, like oh dude, they nail it. Like that's so on. And then much like Joey, the Sandman. Like I
Yeah.
don't know how else to put it. Like that shit brought a tear to my eye. Perfect adaptation, closest thing I've seen since the Sin City movies. Like everybody nailed their roles perfectly. Like I saw something that I read when I was a kid brought to life perfectly. And I I wish it was something that a comic I liked more than Sandman because I do love Sandman, but I wish that like Preacher was done this good and a couple other things I loved more. But dude, Sandman is just unreal good. Like if you haven't watched it yet, I can't recommend it highly enough. Just
It was good. Yeah, it
And
was good.
it got renewed for a second season, so we're getting a second season, which is awesome.
It was funny. I never read the Sandman comics, right? So I really went into the series with like absolutely fresh eyes, and I didn't really know much about the story. I love the show, so I was actually really curious, like to like hear from someone that read the books and what the adaptation, how well it did. So
well, with the first 5 episodes, they added some stuff because most of like the first 5 episodes were single issues in the first arc, so they kind of stretched them out to the hour. But I think that they added some really neat stuff to the lore. But then the second half of the show, the Dollhouse half, just almost a perfect adaptation from the book. Like even the really creepy, gross stuff, like they nailed all that stuff perfectly.
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
And Siri brought up Shorzy, and I really enjoyed Shorzy too. I felt like they kind of brought back the early seasons of Letterkenny. It had the same vibe as the earlier seasons of Letterkenny, so
That's
it
a
was pretty
spinoff
good.
of Letterkenny. I'm gonna have to check
Yeah.
that out then because I really liked like the first 3 seasons of Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Like that.
And it definitely gives off the same vibes as earlier Letterkenny seasons. So
It's so
Short-
funny. Almost
Shorzy's
every
good.
American I talk to ask me, "Yo, you must like Letterkenny and Shorzy." I said, "I've never watched either, to be honest."
Same here. Never got around to it. Yeah.
It's
Trailer
basically
Park
this
Boys,
generation's Trailer Park Boys. It's pretty much the same thing
Yeah.
in a
Okay.
way.
A little
I mean,
bit, a little bit.
I don't know. It's got the same type of really raunchy humor, really extra stuff, like pretty vulgar. But I mean, it's not found footage style like Trailer Park Boys. But I don't know. I could see how people put them together.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're both
Did you guys-
Canadian. So.
Did you guys watch last season of Better Call Saul?
Oh,
No,
another one I forgot.
I
Oh,
forgot too. And it's funny because like I remember that because we're talking about endings.
Yeah.
That was the perfect ending.
It
Was
really
it good?
was, man.
Flawless, like an American gymnast. It was just like boom, stuck the landing.
Yeah.
so I
Out of
watched
there.
that on Netflix, so
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it to land on Netflix to watch it. So
Oh, you're gonna
I
love
won't
it.
say much. I won't say much. Joe. It's like
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
cool.
I was having with someone a discussion the other day about Breaking Bad versus Better Call Saul, which one was the better show.
Yeah.
Better Call Saul all day long for me.
My buddy's argument was for Breaking Bad, from the first episode, it really, there was no build up. It got right into it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So when he put it like that, I said, yeah, you know what? In that case, it makes sense to kind of give Breaking Bad the overall edge. But at its moments, at its peak, Better Call Saul, man, it was some of the best stuff
Well,
I've ever seen,
the
man.
reason why I give it to Call Saul is because I love the character. Whereas in Breaking Bad, I could care less if either one of the main characters died. They're both despicable people that I could not care less about.
You know what? That's so right. Yeah, there's characters in Better Call Saul where it's like in my head I'm like, this person's gonna get it, and I was like on edge really for like forever, and I just like you care about some of these people, you know what I mean? And but at the same time though, you're not gonna have Better Call Saul if there was no Breaking Bad, right? So you gotta
I get that.
Yeah.
The groundwork was laid out, so they hit the ground running, right? I get that. But like in Breaking Bad, I was like, if you would have killed off either of the main characters, I was like, yeah, they deserve it. Like,
you know what? Actually, at the end,
I'm not gonna cry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cry about it because They put themselves in that position, and if they get killed, well, you fucking, you made the bed, you're gonna lay in it, motherfucker.
That's a really good point. There was really nobody at the end of Breaking Bad that I just had an emotional attachment to. Yeah. You know what I mean? They could have gone full Game of Thrones and fucking killed everybody, right? Right down to like the baby, right? Yeah. But yeah, Better Call Saul was just this like gorgeous slow burn character building, and you just kept looking over the horizon, just kind of like dreading. I had such a sense of dread that something was going to happen, I'm not gonna spoil. That's as far as I'm gonna say, but by far it was just like. I
was cooking. I watched the latest season, Cookie. Okay, because that was okay. Then we'll leave it at that.
It's like
you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat.
People like to make villains heroes, like WandaVision. Like everyone was making her out to like she's the villain. Like how could you watch WandaVision and by the end of the episode not realize she's a villain? She's not the hero, and people like make these excuses and like no, she's a fucking villain.
That was though, I thought to a point WandaVision was probably Disney Plus's best Marvel show for the fact that they tried to frame her, and instead of she was a straight up villain.
She is.
No ifs, ands, or buts. But the way that
he takes a fucking town hostage. Yeah, that's it.
Make excuses for her.
Yeah, fuck.
I think honestly, in this day and age, I think there is no longer your traditional hero and your traditional villain. Now it's at a point now where you watch something, it's like you just got to sort of like see the person's point of view, where they're coming from. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. It isn't like, it's not the old days where someone just wants to see the world burn, right? You know what I mean? Like, now it's like they have the reasons for what they're doing, and I find I like that in my, I guess, antagonist, right?
I understand the emotional side of it, where she's coming from, but it doesn't make it right. Yeah. It doesn't justify.
No, that's right. That's what separates a hero and villain is like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That moral.
It got to the point at the end. She even tries to kill fucking Vision because he tells her, "You're going too far. This is wrong." And she's like, "Fuck you, Dad. You're dead. Yeah. I'm gonna kill you." She's a villain. It's like, no, fuck off. Yeah. She's a villain.
She went insane, right? Like
no matter how anyone tries to spin it, no, she's not a victim. She's not a fucking victim. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Like, no, she went mad, right? And like in Doctor Strange too, right? She just went mad. Really,
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's fuck that.
Sergio.
Oh, yes. So my top for me is Severance.
Yeah.
This not only the best show of the year for me, but I can say that it's probably the best season of television I've ever watched, man.
Okay.
Or at least top 3 or something like that, top 5. It's just that good, man. I don't remember the last time. Go ahead, bud.
I didn't finish it. I need to finish that show because I watched the first half and I enjoyed it, but something happened, and this always happens to me. Like I'll get in a busy week where I don't have like time to watch stuff, and I'll forget I started watching something. Yeah. And I'll come back and be like, "Yeah, I only watched half the season of that motherfucker. I got to get back to it."
I've been there many times, but for me, Severance was one of those shows I could not wait. Like it was on when I wasn't watching, it was still on my mind. I was just thinking about what's going on, theories, the characters, what are they doing with the story. From a technical standpoint and an aesthetic, I loved it.
What's it on? Show, right?
Oh, it's on Apple?
That's Apple show.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look into that. I haven't even heard of it, so thank you.
Can someone hard ban this user here? I don't understand. Who are you? I don't know you. I don't know you like that. Get out of here. But, no, Severance was like, it was so good, folks, man. Anybody, please check it out, and you're gonna love it.
Is it a psychological drama? Because the picture, kind of gives off that feel.
I would describe it as like a psychological,
for sure,
drama.
For sure, so
is basically, it's in the near future where there's a technology that you can split a person's personality in half. So there's like a work version and and an outside of work version. But the two, they don't retain any memories of
Memory
each
of
other.
each
Okay,
other.
so they're
Yeah.
like two separate entities completely.
Yes.
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
the work version is essentially a prisoner at work. They're only conscious and aware of themselves.
And the
working.
workplace and what happens at the workplace. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
It's
with
cool. It's a cool concept
it's
of
crazy,
like
man.
like
Yeah.
how like companies want people to, like work is work, keep your personal life out of your work, and it takes that concept and
Mhm.
like in the future, if we have technology, our company's going to resort to this where people can't share their like, oh, I got into a fight with my wife last night and all that. You eliminate all that shit from it, but like as you watch the show,
Who is this? Who are you? Get out of here. I don't know you. Yeah. So that's at the top of my list. And then Interview with the Vampire. Now this one I gotta give credit to Cookie and to the Spoiler Kings, because I passed on this initially. I actually thought this looked corny. I wasn't into it at all. But they kept saying good things about it, So I said, you know what? Let me give it a shot. I went into it kind of skeptical, to be honest. Whole outcome, I was wrong. This was riveting television from episode 1.
I was skeptical as well when I heard this was coming out.
Yeah. Because to me, and I've said it a bunch of times, it looked like some corny, cheesy CW-ish, teenage rom-com, So I wasn't into it, but the performances, I think the most impressive thing is the actors. Yes, thanks, Cookie. The actors' performances is what sold it for me. And the two lead actors, they have this great dynamic and chemistry that just stellar stuff, man. I really, really enjoyed it. Interview with the Vampire, check that one out. And then lastly, my man Johnny, to be honest, surprised to see that in your top, but it's a gem.
That's
man.
cool. Yeah.
That's cool. I was like straight up, it's a trip and a half. I was like buzzing and laughing every episode. It's just, it's good to see, Latino representation in TV. You got Mexican American.
It's good. It's really good.
And
Hugs, not thugs, baby.
It's funny, yeah. It's just funny TV, and if I didn't realize it until about maybe episode 2 or 3, but one of the lead, the gangster, the guy with the bald head, he's famous from like TikTok and Instagram. He does the cholo fits, which is like gangster exercising. Right? So, yeah. So I'm telling you guys, check it out. His Instagram stuff is hilarious. And it translated. So it's basically a similar character, and just really, really fun stuff, man. Yeah.
When he shows up to the one meeting dressed as the dinosaur man, I was just like, dude, this guy is dude, he's insane.
I like the decision they made, the way they evolved the main character and his girlfriend and their relationship. Like the way it was going at first, I was like, oh no. But then the way it evolved, and I loved it. Like
yeah, it was cool.
They're a great couple. I love them as a couple. I think they're fantastic. Yeah.
And Michael Imperioli's character too. He had probably the best character arc. Like the boss.
There's so many good moments and storylines in it. Yeah.
For sure. But it's true. It's like the boyfriend and the girlfriend. A nice little arc there for them. And
I thought they were gonna go totally different with that, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, all right, they didn't go with the whole on and off and like, oh, it's constant fighting and this and that. Like they find their groove, and their groove is awesome. The
episode with the rabbit was great, man.
Which one was that?
The one where like he's
the rabbit. They think it's in the couch. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. It's a gem. It's some great kind of character moments, and for all its silliness, it's just it makes for some nice TV. It's the best way to put it. Yeah. Oh, and my naughty is pretty much anything.
Fucking scorched earth. I love it.
Anything Disney Plus, man.
You know what? If I had, you know what I was gonna do, Serge?
What's
If I
that?
had more time, I was gonna try to find a picture of a dog and Photoshop it taking a shit on top of the Disney fucking logo.
You should have.
I didn't have it. I was strapped for time to because we did this on short notice because we weren't supposed to do the Naughty Nice show this week, so we did it on short notice. So I was like, oh, I wanted to do it so bad.
That would have been great,
but
it would have been socials, man. Because really, that's what
next year we're gonna get started early. Like I'm gonna get started in November. I'm gonna send the invites out in November, and then have everyone send me all their picks early December, so I could really have a good time with like all the mock-ups and everything. And
no, but this is cool.
Which would you say was the worst, Serge?
You know, I'll say this. I'll start off with this. She-Hulk, it got too much hate, and on the other side, I seen it praised as like the best, Marvel TV, and I'm like, well, no, it's for me personally. I found it somewhere between. It was cool. It was fun. It was entertaining. It had some very cringy moments, and I also didn't like some of the narrative behind, like men are shitty and all that. Like it leaned way too heavy into that, I think, when it didn't necessarily need to. But I understand what they were doing.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy She-Hulk. The worst one for me.
Say Moon Knight.
Would probably have
Moon Knight.
I'll say this. Moon Knight. Because I didn't even finish it. It. It was so
You're wrong.
bland. It was so bland.
No, he's right. He is correct.
No, he's saying that Matt's wrong. That Wanda's a hero.
No, I'm saying Loki is the worst. Fucking Loki is garbage.
Fucking Moon Knight was boring as shit.
Hawkeye was the worst one, man. Hawkeye was just terrible.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch
Hawkeye. Hawkeye was fun.
Hawkeye wasn't good. Moon Knight wasn't. These shows were not good. But for me, when I'm a completionist, and the fact that I did not even bother make an attempt to finish Moon Knight, it was boring.
We struggled. Yeah. My kids refer to it as the Mummy 4.
Yeah. Because you've got such an interesting character.
Yeah.
Like, that was probably the one I was honestly most hyped for.
And I thought too, some of the CGI work in that it was just fucking awful. It really was awful.
TV stuff, yeah.
If they would have given Moon Knight to Netflix, I think they could have done a bang up job.
Yeah.
You know what? If that would have been part of that whole, the Luke Cage, Iron Fist. By the way, Iron Fist season 2, I will stand up for any day. I love season 2 Iron Fist.
I like the last scene at the end of season 2.
Right?
When they had Orson Randall show up, that was cool. But them switching the tattoos and stuff, like, oh man, it went too far. They went too far from the lore, for my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Moon Knight was just frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the Disney stuff, on a scale of mid to like shitty, I would probably put.
Between Daya and Rhea, what do you got?
Oh man, the only one, to be honest, that I'm probably like looking forward to checking out again is in all honesty probably She-Hulk.
What do you think of Falcon Winter Soldier?
I didn't care for it.
What about What If? I'm pretty hyped for What If season 2. What If?
But
I didn't finish it.
Miss Marvel started out like the first episode was so brilliant. It was just like an explosion of colors. They took like background colors from the comics and put it in a show. Yeah. And I found that
graphics and stuff.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. And then as it went, it's like they abandoned what was happening, how they set up the episode. And it just got boring.
That's true.
As it went, it just like
stylistically and visually, the first couple episodes were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just became any show. Yeah.
And as I kept watching, I'm like, I'd rather just be watching Never Have I Ever.
They pulled a cheap anime on you. They got like really good animation for the first episode, and then the rest of the series is all just.
I love that first
from
episode.
Korean sweat houses and shit.
No, it was great. Like I was so excited for this series, and then the trailer leading up to it. I'm trying to remember the song that was in the trailer. The song was in the trailer. Hey,
I didn't. I got halfway through and I was like, yeah, this show's not for me.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed. I was very disappointed because I just like said it just like I had so much high hope after the first start, and it just kind of went after that, and
And
it's
that's
like
what it was, Adrian, for basically all of Disney's MCU stuff.
yeah.
It's just, high hopes. So you're looking for. I don't go into anything wanting to dislike it. I'm always like I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd. This is these characters that I've loved for years. But at the end of the day, if it's Gaga, it's Gaga, man. And a lot of this stuff was just Gaga, man.
No, I know.
That's why you like using the word caca, so I want to put a dog taking a caca on it.
Yes, yeah. So Sergio, I was telling the boys earlier on before the show started, before you came on, it got to the point where we normally would see every Marvel movie on opening day. We see it on the Thursday, right, day prior to. Wakanda Forever. We decided to skip. We actually skipped Wakanda Forever, the movie that everyone was so excited about, and a lot of like how they're gonna do this and whatnot. And I love Namor. I was very excited. I love was it Tanaka Huerta?
Yep.
Is his name? Yep. So because I remember it from Narcos, Mexico, right? And I was so excited for them. And then it's like by the time we got around to the release of it, I was just like, I don't care. Well, I really don't care.
I gotta know, how hyped are you for the DC reboot then, man? Are you like, because they're gonna be making their movies like Marvel now? Like, are you holding your nuts for that one?
I have zero expectations for anything comic book related anymore.
They were doing fine. Like, that's the thing. It's like not everything they release is going to be a home run. They're going to have duds, right? But they had when it was good, it was fantastic. Like Peacemaker, Doom Patrol, The Last Suicide Squad. I love Black Adam. I love Black Adam. It was actually
it was a fun movie.
I sat through Black Adam and I did not once have the word The Rock pass through my head.
No, he actually acted in it. Yeah, he was.
It just completely
a character
it did
in
not.
It was amazing.
But again, too, and I loved the Zack Snyder Justice League. A bit long, but I still loved it. Fuck, I'm the guy that I still like Batman versus Superman. You know what I mean? Like I loved what they were doing. And and I thought when Henry Cavill was temporarily announced that he's coming back, I'm like, fantastic, because I love Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Batman vs. Superman was technically Man of Steel 2 for me, you know what I mean? So this would have been the third Man of Steel movie coming up. And I was just like, I was so excited for like him to get another chance at this and really establish himself, whatever. And then, and I was excited with James Gunn taking over DC. I mean, because, he's been, really good track record. Even like the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special I loved, right?
Yeah, I just watched that.
Yeah, it was great, right? But I just found, but then when, this week he announced that Cavill's out, and then obviously Ben Affleck is out, and talking about how he's writing a new script for a new Superman movie that's like young Superman. I'm like, fuck off! I don't need to see Smallville again. You know what I mean? It's just like
Superman Homecoming. Yeah, man.
My concern with Gunn is he's got it's very much that Marvel formula of he's got to insert a joke in every single scene.
Is he gonna turn it into Thor?
Like
no.
First of all, Thor is the biggest pile of caca.
We're gonna be getting to that. We're gonna be getting to it.
I can't wait. Fucking can't wait.
Movies is the next section. So yeah, you
all right, let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, Joe, start with.
All right, we'll probably have a big discussion on my naughty, so I'll start with my good.
Fuck's sakes,
Nope.
Joe.
I watched Nope just recently. Actually, we rented it, and I love that movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. A great UFO. I love the take on the UFO story. The fact that his sister wore a fucking Jesus Lizard t-shirt was like icing on the cake for me. Love that movie. It was great. And I love that he just straight up says the movie's nope. Like, I thought that was
straight
great.
up.
OJ,
OJ is so
fucking
cool.
right. I was like, yeah, it was awesome. Like, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it is so good. What did you think about the Gordy's home stuff, Joe? Like, that was probably my favorite part of the movie with the chimp.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the whole thing. Like even the design for I love it. Everything was great.
especially
Yeah.
when it unfolds. Man,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool. Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
I love it visually, the style. I mean, everyone's like, oh, people who like it only like it because Man-Thing's in it. I'm not a Man-Thing fan. I just like the style they took. They went with like the black and white and just with hints of color here and there, and like we discussed it on an earlier episode how when he transforms, you don't see it. You see it through the silhouette of his shadow. Like, I love all these little aspects, and because it's black and white, you finally got a lot of blood in a Marvel fucking. Because the blood wasn't red, it was black. So they got away with like splitting throats with
Straight cut the
fucking
dude
gush.
arm off.
Yeah, and like with a gush of fucking blood, like gory, but they got away with it because it's black and white, which was awesome. I loved it. I loved it for all those reasons.
The best thing in Phase 4. The best thing in Phase 4.
Yeah.
You know, Man-Thing was practical effects, by the way.
I have, which makes it. I'm a practical. I love practical effects over CG. If you can do it practical, do it practical. Don't fucking use the CG shit. It's
all practical.
Even when it's well done, it's still off. It still looks off.
Yeah.
Right. So, man, go practical every time. And know, I've been very vocal about runtimes of movies. Like, editing has become a lost art in Hollywood. I don't know what happened to all the editors in Hollywood, if they fired them all or what. But I love the runtime of it. Got to the point.
Yeah.
It fucking. We have an hour. We got to tell you this story. We're gonna cut the fat because if it's not necessary, we're cutting it the fuck out. And that's what I love, man. Straight to the point. No filler. No fucking filler. Like, bring back fucking movie editors in Hollywood, man. Because you're letting all these directors that are too close to their own project. Oh, I have to keep this in. I have to. No, you don't. You can cut half your movie out and people will still get the same fucking story and understand what you're trying to say. And the pacing will be so much fucking better. So bring back fucking editors in Hollywood. I'm sorry. All right, my naughty. Fucking the Batman.
Wow.
Fuck's sakes.
The Batman, I think it became a victim of just the hype train.
Wait, I'm gonna get comfortable for this. I gotta hear this.
For the hype train, it was I had a hard time finishing it. I found it boring. I found it so fucking boring. The one thing I'll give it that was excellent that I cannot, the fucking car chase scene was spectacular. The best fucking car chase scene I've seen in cinematic history. That car chase scene in the Batman was close to its only redeeming quality. Like, everyone goes gaga for Colin Farrell's fucking Penguin. All he was doing was imitating fucking Robert De Niro. That's all it was. Him doing Robert De Niro. That was the fucking Penguin. That's Colin Farrell playing Robert De Niro. Like, why was that so great?
When he corrects his Spanish, I love that scene.
Oh my god!
It was okay. It was okay. Like, I mean, and everyone's like, "Oh, Batman's so brutal, so violent." He wasn't any more brutal or violent than fucking Ben Affleck's Batman. Like, I mean,
I think
but he was hotter.
He was less brutal than.
I was totally not down with the goth Bruce Wayne. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, I don't like My Bloody Valentine, and I didn't like fucking the goth Bruce Wayne. So.
But is this like year 1 or year 2 Batman? Was that the
year 2? I think
year 2.
Year news, more like it. Fuck.
You know what? I'll say this. I never understood. I'm kind of in the middle with Batman. I was a little underwhelmed with it, to be honest. It's not even nowhere near my top comic book films this year. I'll say the Batmobile reveal when it revved up. Man, that was very.
I love the Batmobile, man.
Yeah. That's, I mean, anything with that car, the scenes they shot were amazing. Like, I don't know who this director was. I don't know if he has a history with.
Matt Reeves,
but I don't know.
The Planet of the Apes.
He has a history with apes and horses.
Yeah, okay, but
that's my shirt.
And like, everyone's like going gaga for what's her name's Catwoman. I was like,
she was excellent, man.
She was excellent.
She was cool. I liked it.
That was. I want her to have a movie, man. Like, that's what I want next. I want a Catwoman movie.
I'll go watch. Give me a second season of High Fidelity, and I'll be happy. Fuck, I don't need another movie with her as Catwoman.
You know what I'll say, Joe, is I I legit when Pattinson made his first appearance in the film,
That was in the subway?
on the subway tracks.
Yeah.
I legit, and my kid too, we laughed. He was the most unintimidating Batman I've ever seen. I said, "You got to be kidding me! This guy's." If I was those bangers, you know what I mean. Despite what his abilities, I would have laughed at him too.
But that's the whole point, though, right? Because he's just starting out. He's only like a couple of years into the Gotham. You know what I mean? So there's still people that just aren't like whatever. And I guess to me, it's like with a comic book movie.
Mhm.
With the sci-fi movie, first and foremost, it's like the theme, the music, right? Do we have something iconic? Yeah. The music was goddamn iconic, right? Yeah. Like dun 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 dun, just like 3 or 4 notes, and you right away know this song, right? I play that shit like while I was working, and my wife's like, "Why the fuck are you playing this?" Right? I'm working like dun 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 dun, and then it's like the cowl was the most practical design. Like you can see how he can move, right? Like looking at that cowl, and then when you look at like Michael Keaton's cowl, it's like, fuck, he must be wearing like a halo, right? And then scenes, right? Like Penguin's nightclub, so there are 2 walking scenes, right? So there's the one where Batman is walking, walking through the nightclub, right? The music's going, and then the second walking scene was Selena when she was had the whatever, and just like the visual of it, and just like her movements, to the music, it was just like it was just this beautifully choreographed, just something as simple as a walk, right? And then John Turturro, as Carmine Falcone, like. Was good. Fuck, I love John Turturro. You know what I mean? Like, and I want to see more of him in a dark role like that. And then Andy Serkis, like
John Turturro, I enjoyed his character.
He was cool.
Yeah, I like him in almost everything he does. Like, he's one of those.
But this was really a detective movie, right? When they first when they have like the first murder scene with the mayor, and Batman's in there, and just like seeing him walking into this room and just seeing how the cops react to him. And then just to see them breaking down things, like basically a detective moment. You know what I mean? Like that's what Batman is. He's like, the world's greatest detective. And
I think, to be fair, I've only watched it once, and I think now that maybe I watched like a dozen times. Like maybe in a second view, and I'll enjoy it more because I got the aspect of it being so underwhelming for me out that maybe now I can sit down and be. With less expectations, maybe I'll enjoy it more on the second viewing.
Listen, I did not like it. We didn't like it in the theater. The first time we saw it, I thought it was boring as fuck. I didn't like it. My wife hated it.
That's my. I came out and I was like, it's boring. Yeah. There's nothing except that car, but the car chase scene right away. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's like I tell everyone. That's like.
Watch it again.
That's what I'm gonna have
seriously,
to.
Joe.
But,
This Joe. Seriously, I'm telling you, you're gonna watch it a few more times. And then you're going to really start picking out things and just like, it's just such a subtle, there's just a lot of beautiful moments in it,
But sometimes that's like, I'll just go watch 7 instead.
My kids watched that last week.
Like, I love 7.
So I love 7 too. Yeah.
I mean,
one of the greatest endings ever in a movie. Yeah.
What's in the box?
It's funny. So my kids, like, they're like, 18 and 19. And so they're really into the whole meme culture. And there's like the whole what's in the box meme was like just, it's everywhere. So my son had no idea what was in the box. He's just like, is that what's in the box? Like he was just like, just to watch his reaction to what was in it.
A box full of Goop products, man. It's probably like a vagina scented candle from Goop.
You had some pulls on a vagina candle. They lights it up. Oh,
it's gonna explode! Get it out of here!
Yeah.
Dear God. So, but anyway.
So
Joe. Seriously, rewatch the Batman, and I'm curious to just message me. Let me know what you thought the second time.
I don't know when I'll get.
But you know what though? It's refreshing to see someone not just straight up, because all I see is love for it, and I don't get it. It's just
good, but it's like my third favorite Batman movie. Yeah. I mean, it's not.
What's your guys' favorite Batman movie?
Batman Begins.
Yeah.
My favorite is Batman '89.
Yeah.
me
Okay.
too.
I'm in '89. Yeah.
You know, I'm the Dark Knight Rises.
You know what? That's so
Another
funny.
good Catwoman, not as good as this one, but
No, really, that's like my that's my Revenge of the Sith. You know what I mean?
I do enjoy that, Adrian. Honestly, and
Yeah.
so people, I think it's like common that's the least like of the trilogy.
Nolan trilogy.
For me, that's probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
That's
My only
my
beef
favorite
with
one.
it, and as much as I love Tom Hardy, and actually I quite liked his take on Bane,
Yeah.
is I'm still waiting for a live action proper Bane. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like I want I just so far like you get it in the animated, right? But just live action. I don't know why they keep skirting around, who Bane should be, but God damn, I love that movie. Yeah, I really do. I love the opening scene, right? With like, on the plane. Like even just like the SUV riding through like the field. That, you know what I mean? Like just that build up and then fucking hell, what a great
With
movie.
that film, the first Bane Batman confrontation.
Yeah.
The I was born in the dark.
Oh yeah, mortared by it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
Yes.
the South Park episode with the Bane masks.
Yeah, this is good.
Do you ever see the Bane cat video?
Oh yeah. Oh definitely. Yeah.
I peed in it. Oh fuck.
All right, Adrian, you up, man?
Okay,
All
so
Gotta
I'll
say
say
this-
my naughty.
You're gonna start with it? Okay.
No, we'll save it. We'll build up
Oh,
to
you're
the
gonna
naughty.
save it. Okay, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, I had a tough time figuring out. You know what? Before I get into Prey, I just want to make a side note, a little special, like whatever. Like I just saw Pinocchio, the Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Fuck, what a goddamn gorgeous movie that was. Like that was just, man, it was so fuck you Disney, right? I kind of felt for me, like like everything about it was just like, it was like this is like the movie that Del Toro was supposed to make. It was just, man, it was heartbreaking, and it was just like, you borderline cried at moments. And anyway, gorgeous movie. I probably would have picked that, but Prey.
Mhm.
So I remember, I have such a soft spot for the Predator franchise because in '87 when the original came out, it was like I was in junior high, and this was like a moon landing for me. Like this was like something we just never experienced. So I held such a high candle to Predator forever, and then Predator 2 I kind of whatever, and then Alien versus Predator, and then Predators and whatever, it kind of felt a little bit tired. But Prey just basically like saved a franchise. It just absolutely redefined it and actually like made me interested in this as well. Like it just for the first like half of the movie, it just felt like a really good, really almost like there's a lot of like Indigenous Canadian movies, and that's what this felt like, a really good Canadian Indigenous movie. And it almost to the point where you kind of sort of forget that this is a Predator movie, and just the build up, and then but just seeing the day to day of the tribe, and then just every now and then you kind of realize what's happening, what's about to happen.
Mhm.
And then when the Predator shows up, and then the fresh design of it, everything about it was just so fresh, and it was just
the skull mask and
the skull mask.
redesign.
I like that he was primitive too. You know what I mean? Like
It was just like the primitive tribes, like coming together, and just like and the lead actress, she was just absolutely amazing. And then it's funny. I remember too. There are some people that are like crabbing on this idea of this of this female character being able to take on a Predator. It was really silly. It was absolutely silly talk, but that was like the one negative thing I kept seeing come up. But
any human that can take on a predator is silly.
Yeah.
So
that's the point of it. Is the thing
right from the
is
start.
basically a
That's what it's
cheat.
based on. Yeah.
It's got all
exactly.
these special weapons. It can be invisible. It's a cheat. Like that's one of my favorite things.
The cards are stacked right from the start, right?
When her brother's fighting the alien, and the alien just when the Predator just disappears on it, he straight up just yells "cheater" at it. I love that scene. I mean,
Yeah, but
that's
it's one of those
basically the
movies.
truth.
Yeah, and it's one of those movies I just kind of stopped. I sat back, I'm like, fuck me, right? Like that was just perfect, you know. So, yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I
Yeah.
liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, as a lifelong like Predator fan, you know, that's gone through the high and the lows, a lot of lows. This was nice to see. I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm actually looking forward to the next Predator movie.
Well, the scenes where he fights animals is great too. There's like a
Yeah.
really great scene where the Predator fights a bear,
The
and then
bear?
like,
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay,
yeah.
you know what? It reminded me of the Revenant. You know, so a mix of the Revenant, and then also too. I don't know if you ever saw that Brad Pitt movie, The Assassination of
oh yeah,
Jesse James.
Jesse James, yeah.
Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, right? So, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, just because of the quietness. And I felt this movie, Prey, had a lot of quietness. And
yeah, it did. It did.
And in that quietness, they just pushed the story forward and just built up to the crescendo. And my God, man, it was just just brutal moments. And
her dog was awesome. Her dog was really awesome.
I'm gonna watch. You know what? I'm gonna watch it right after this. So I
rewatched it the other night, man. Adrian, where would you rate?
Well, it's the second best. It's the second best Predator movie. Yeah, second. Like, I'll never pick anything higher than the original '87 one because it's just that means way too much for me. Right? Every character in that, even the scene like when Billy was on the bridge, he's like cutting himself and sacrificing himself and
or just
my God.
The arm getting cut off and because it's still shooting as it's on the ground. Yeah, like it's
everything.
So many,
like even when the one
Bill
dude is
Duke?
like he's like shaving himself, right? And then when he presses too hard and it snaps, right? It's that little God damn, like Carl Weathers.
Great movie.
It's great. It's probably Schwarzenegger's best movie, apart from Junior. Anyway, so let's get to it, boys. What the fuck? What the fuck? Can we just say what the fuck? This was like, we were in a theater. It was me and the kids. My wife just said, fuck it, I'm not going, and I don't blame her. We were like, we were about 15 minutes in, and I turned to my daughter. I'm like, uh-oh. Without a word of a lie, I'm like, uh-oh. And it just fucking went on from there. And just like, I was just like this the whole time. Listen, I'll tell you this too. At the end.
Yeah. Oh my God.
At the end, there's like
fucking goats. The goats.
At the end, this kid who sat next to us, he's like, $60, right? The whole theater was quiet, and everyone's like, it was like a big fuck me moment among strangers. We were all in shock at what we had seen. The goats. This was like a 4 or 5 year old meme that they just kept pushing. And it's funny too, because I remember like the lead up and all the reviews and early whatever talk is like, all these goats are fantastic. What the like?
I had no issues with the goats. Like I was fine with that.
They were dumb. It was dumb. But whatever. It was kind of funny. But it was just like this was like, listen, like, Ragnarok was great. I love Ragnarok.
But you know the difference? The main difference between Ragnarok and this is that when he fought, he was serious. Well, now where he's fighting, he's making these jokes as he's fighting. It's like, what the fuck, dude? At least in Ragnarok, it's like, okay, we're in a fight now. It's time to be serious. It's time for me to be a god.
Okay.
Now he's all slapsticky while he's fighting, making cracks, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? They turned Thor into a fucking parody of himself.
Yeah.
And it's not even a good one.
No.
Okay. So this is the best way to describe Love and Thunder for anyone who hasn't seen it, but have seen the previous ones. When they have like when they're on Asgard and they have like a play.
Yes.
With Matt Damon and then whatever. Mm-hmm. That's what Thor Love and Thunder is. It's like a 2-hour version of that parody play, right? I was waiting for Thor to go, no. And it was just like the dialogue was so cringy. I've never hated the Guardians as much as I did. And that it was just like it was just, this was like, it's like they gave Waititi like just full carte. Well, they did give him full carte blanche. Like they must have, because it's like I don't know what it was.
He took a big
how does
steamy
a
shit
studio
on that white
co-sign
that
any
kept
of
How
this?
does this happen? Listen, I'll tell you right now. It's like, so afterwards, I go to my dog. I'm like, I'm gonna watch The Dark World again. And I've always liked The Dark World. I found that The Dark World got a little too much flack. It's fucking 10 times better now to me, The Dark World, because to me it was like the last time I saw, like, Thor in a solo movie that was like, Thor, right? This was just pure. This was camp. It was borderline Monty Python. There was
and not even a good homage to like Monty Python. Not even a good.
Fuck. And can we talk about what accent was Russell Crowe?
Get it?
Was that? It was like an Italian accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like,
That
it
was
was just
good.
like, it was. I was so embarrassed for him. You know
And,
what I
like,
mean?
Like, I love, what's his name? Krog, is that his name? The stone creature?
Korg.
Korg, yeah.
I loved
Yeah.
him in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I thought he was funny. He was real, and like his jokes in this one just fell flat. They weren't.
He became the Jar Jar Binks of the MCU.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, and when we thought he died, I'm like, great, he's dead. But no, his fucking face still lives, right? And
now he's
and it
gonna
was
be
just
like fucking Groot, right? Now he's gonna grow back and be like, I don't know, whatever.
And then the Jane Foster story, the lines that they gave her, the dialogue was just so cringy, and it's just like, it just felt like another forced character.
And it felt
there was nothing redeeming about this film.
Well, and the thing is, when she passed away, it's almost kind of like, bye, Felicia. It didn't even really matter when she passed away.
I don't agree. No. I don't agree with you there, Serge. There is one redeeming quality in this movie.
Okay. Oh, I can't wait.
I gave Batman one, so I'm going to give one to this movie. The scene that took place on the Dark World, the Shadow World, the fucking Black and White World, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, those scenes were fantastic.
Yes, I agree.
Visually,
I agree with
the
you
style,
right there. Yeah.
Those scenes were great. I was like, this is what I need. This is what I came for. And you're going to just give me 15 minutes out of I don't know if it was 3 hours, but I need more than 15 minutes.
It felt long. It felt like one of the long-ass movies.
Like, I was like...
It was cool visually, but at that point, I
couldn't wait. Like, the whole time I'm watching it, I was like, I'm going to be happy when this is done. It'll be the highlight of the movie for me is when it finished, and I didn't have to watch it anymore. That was the highlight for me.
I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Christian Bale. What a fucking waste. You know what I mean? Like, to have an actor like that in a turd like that. It's just, I don't know. I was so disappointed. How did
something like that happen, though? In all seriousness, how does everything has to fall into place to make that bad of a film? And I don't understand on any level how people, because I've seen praise for it. Yeah, like, oh my god, I love it, and no, it's just.
It's bad.
I watched every level. It's a bad film,
And I watched it twice again afterwards at home, babe, because I like to watch. I want to give a proper whatever.
Give it a chance.
I hated it worse. Each time it got worse for me, and it's just like I felt so embarrassed for everyone, And I ended up watching, like I said, I went back to the Dark World again, and I love the Dark World. This is fucking.
Yeah, it was garbage. Like, but though, like, I don't know, like. Those scenes on that world where they go into the Shadowland or whatever it is there, I love that. I watched that and I was like, they put no jokes. It was all serious. They were fighting. No one was throwing one-liners while they were fighting on that world. It was great. Like, why? Like, who's cracking jokes when there's these shadow creatures attacking children? You're sitting there talking to Jane, cracking jokes while these fucking creatures are probably eating or murdering children, and you're there making jokes. Like, what the fuck kind of world do you live in?
And again,
you should be horrified and almost in tears that these children are being attacked by these creatures. No. Oh, I saw the love of my life. Now she's got my old hammer, and they're making jokes and flirting with each other while these fucking slaughtering the whole village. Like, come on.
I could see Elle joking at that point.
That whole invasion of the village. That's at that moment I thought, you know what? Go full Game of Thrones. Just fucking kill them kids. Kill them. Let's go dark. Let's go absolutely just gritty and dark. Just black and white the rest of the way. Revenge this thing. It's a revenge movie at this point, right? It's like I said, I'm so getting this. all these
No,
kids
it was-
that are being shoved into these movies, right? The Disneyfying of
Oh, you
of
talk
the
about
Marvel
when
franchise.
all the little kung fu Thor kids with the lightning teddy
Oh,
bears and shit.
fuck me. And then at the end, you know, when he's got Gore's kid, right, and they're doing the whole running through the field together and all that, I'm like, fuck off, right? I'm tired of this now. It's like, enough of this. Like, don't, like, I'm just, enough. Like, I can't. That really did it for me.
Yeah.
It really fucking did it for me. It's just
Yeah.
like it's so Disney. It's so.
And that's the
Anyway,
problem with the Disney formula is they're I think to on some kind of level they gotta be insecure, because for me it's like if you gotta throw in a joke in every scene,
yeah,
let a serious scene stand for itself. And you know what's crazy is every once though they will have these great scenes, you know.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
and
sure.
then what happens is they gotta throw in the joke at the end, because it's like, why can't you just let that stand on its own? What are you guys so afraid of? You know what
absolutely.
I mean?
And I think that's why I'm appreciating DC films more.
Well, maybe they're trying to like be like, we hate the Oscars, so we're gonna throw a joke at the end of it because we don't want to win Oscars because, you know,
Man,
I don't know. Fuck.
I don't get it.
I don't know. There are moments where it's like you just pray for Will Smith to come up there and just like, you know, end this, because I just like.
Just slap them.
Yeah.
I can't take this. Like, it's amazing. It kind of bothers me too. It's like they've driven it to this point, like I said, where I can't go and, like, you know, watch a supposed celebration like Wakanda Forever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
It's true.
Fucking care.
It makes
I don't
you
care.
It makes
it's
you
like,
not. Yeah.
No,
Ruins
you know,
it for the rest.
and to be honest, like with Wakanda Forever, I don't know if I'm in the minority, but I really think they should just recast T'Challa.
Yeah. No, you're not in the minority.
The fact they
should have never said they would never like, why? So you get that character gets one movie. You only explore that character for one movie because of some tragedy that's not like, it's not like he got canceled. The guy had cancer and he died.
Yeah.
I get that, but why can't you recast him? I don't get it. I don't.
The show must go on, right? It's just how it is. I'm pretty sure, like, obviously I don't
honor him. Yes, honor him and do all these things, but you don't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's such a disservice, right? Because, you know, there's probably some kid out there that just love the character of T'Challa. Fuck, I love Black Panther growing up as a kid, right? You know, like I love the old, you know, when he had, like, you know, the comics, like the gray gloves with the lines, you know, on it, like, and the cape, and, you know,
how many different Batmans have we had so far? Right?
Exactly, right. And iconic characters get different actors, right? James Bond, right? You know, no one. Yeah, everybody gets excited when a new Bond gets announced, right? You know what I mean?
And then as you recast it, it gets to the legacy thing where which actor did it the best. Then that becomes a debate, and you become part of this exclusive group of people that got to play that character, and it's almost like an honor, right? Now they're taking that away from everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, I never really cared for the character of Shuri in Black Panther. I don't know, maybe it was the actor. I just found her acting in the first one just threw me off, right? And then I know in the comics, you know, she becomes the Black Panther, right? But I don't know why I just couldn't see her as a Black Panther. You know what I mean? Like T'Challa's girlfriend. What's her name again? Not Okoye. Okoye was from the Guards, but Nakia?
I think it's Nakia.
Yeah, like I always like kind of envisioned her as being a replacement, right? But I just kept thinking, like, why are we just not recasting it? Like, you know what? You just move on. It's life. We move on, right? And really, and like you said, Joe, I mean, we could turn to a legacy.
But move on, not forgetting it. Like, honoring it, but moving forward. Like, life doesn't end because like, if we lived that way, anytime you lost someone you loved, you'd quit doing whatever it is you do in life. No, you honor that person, you cherish the moments you had with them, and you move on, but while still honoring them. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I know, and I hate how, like, you know, people are like, you know, some people called for a recast, and, you know, they're being slammed for being, you know, insensitive and whatnot. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's show business, and you know, this is a character that's gone through, you know, many know, forms.
Do you think he himself would be like, okay, I passed away, so nobody plays this character again. Don't you think
No.
he'd want other people to portray the character so that young kids
Another
could
actor
see
out
that
there.
character on screen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he would have wanted this.
No, because you know what?
Honestly.
Because there's there's another black actor out there that would have
Get
this
inspired
could have
by
made
it.
him.
Yeah.
Could have made him and then inspire like another generation of young black kids. Like honestly, I really found this is just I don't know what it was. This was just pandering to like
It was knee-jerk reaction at the moment.
it really sad.
Just,
yeah.
And then Marvel went a whole hog and put like him on every fucking comic, like rest in peace and all this stuff, and they just went into big time marketing. Like, oh, how can we cash in on this? The marketing wheel. It just started going, and it became more about, I think, money cashing in than actually honoring him in the end.
It felt like that
they
too.
handled a lot of it.
Yeah. So I mean, I will see Wakanda Forever. I'm gonna wait for it to hit Disney. And then you know what? Hey, I'll probably love it.
Check it out in theaters, buddy. Because I'm much like you. I'm like very much burned out on
superhero
content. Yeah. But I said, you know what? I want to go watch this, and it was really good. For me, it's the best Phase 4 film.
Okay, I heard it. I probably will enjoy it. I know I'll enjoy it, but like I said, it's just being inspired to. Yeah, I don't want to go out of obligation. I want to go because I'm interested, right? It's funny though. All this time we've been joking about the Avatar sequels, right? The last few years, but actually, like in our household, we're actually kind of looking forward to seeing Avatar 2. I don't know.
I'm cool. I am so cool off of that.
I don't know what it is. It's like I just man, like I just.
You know what it is? It's James Cameron. He makes
it's the water.
Yeah. Listen. I commented B- TV. You guys have to follow him. This guy's fantastic with his reviews. So he's talking about Avatar 2, and I commented. I'm like, never count out James Cameron. Whenever you count out James Cameron, he shows up at the party, pulls his dick out, shoves in the mashed potatoes, and reminds you of the movies that he knocked out.
He comes into the parties. I'm James Cameron, bitch.
Yeah.
No.
Avatar 2, like they're actually saying it's going to project to have over $500 million opening.
That's insane.
Wonderful,
but that's insane. I mean,
stick to live action.
But at the same time, though, too, it's like I've seen like more like so there's some high res images coming out of some of the CGI, and it's just like, holy fuck!
People were saying, it's been too long, and I said, you guys are kidding yourselves if you don't think this movie is gonna do a billy. It's gonna hit.
I'm not gonna. It's not gonna make money. I'm just not interested.
No, it's gonna make money, but for some reason, I don't know why. It's like I said, listen, I crack jokes all the time. I said, I don't give a fuck. This is gonna be the Chinese democracy of movies, as far as I'm concerned, right? I just was not interested in it, But yeah, lately I just like, so.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. The only reason I haven't watched it this weekend is there's no tickets available. It's in my area. All the good seats, all the good theaters are sold out. So I'm gonna have to wait till probably next weekend. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
I predict it'll be my naughty list.
2023, baby. Naughty list. Okay.
All right, who's next? Where are we at? I don't even know where we're at anymore. Fuck.
Much like Joey, I got Werewolf by Night is nice. I just really enjoyed it. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. I thought I'd like it okay, but it blew me away. I thought it was very, very well done. I really liked the weird spoofy little things like the wind-up dead guy when they wind up the corpse and had him tell the rules and stuff. I thought that was all really cute and fun. And it just really, really knocked it out of the park. But after that, I got Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And I know this movie has a lot of hype behind it, but it's for good reason. It's because this movie is excellent, man. It is incredible. It never stops moving. Michelle Yeoh has always just been such an incredible action star, and she just completely owns this film. And it's so extra, man. There are some trophies that go places the trophies shouldn't go in a person's body in this. It's got some Garth Ennis stuff popping off in it. It's not what I expected at all. I don't think it'd be what you guys expected when you guys check it out. I can't recommend it highly enough, dude. It's
Yeah,
really,
it's on
really
it's on
cool.
my list. It's on my list. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah.
And then naughty, of course, man. It's the Grim Cuddy. Like, oh my God, has anything just been made that boring and there's just that terrible? I thought it was at least
bad.
gonna be. I thought it was gonna at least be funny bad, but it was just boring, terrible bad. Like
We were watching it and with the me and the family and all that because we like horror movies and that, and it got to a point where so someone's in the car and they're kind of looking in the rearview mirror and they see Grim kind of walking. I'm like, that's like fucking Gru from Despicable Me, and so we couldn't get past that anymore, right? You know, like, hello everybody, and it's just like, it was basically like it was gritty Gru, right? So yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
My parents took my phone away. Fashion.
Like what?
Actually, the best moment was kind of near the end when they found out what was on the son's search search engine. Was it bat sex? I'm like, what? So I look at my kids, I'm like, you guys look at bat sex? What is this bat sex, right? You know? Yeah, that was probably the best moment, right?
Look at your kids and tell them put your phones in the detox box. We're doing this now.
Yeah. I can't even get worked up over this movie being bad. It
was just dumb. It wasn't bad. It was dumb.
I hear a lot of people talking bad about Halloween ends, and like that was terrible, but it was entertaining at the same time. Like it was watchable. It just was real. It didn't go where I wanted it to. Like the Grim Cuddy is just terrible.
Yeah, I think that would have made Mel's list if she was here. Halloween ends. Yeah.
But honorable mention is definitely Barbarian. Like, but I figured everybody's seen it. And I figured it was going to be on other people's lists. That's why I didn't put it on mine.
I almost put it, but yeah.
Somebody mentioned Bullet Train in the comments.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Bullet Train's good. Bullet Train's good. I read the book. The movie's actually better than the book. Yeah. Actually, I found because it originally was in Japanese, right? The book, and maybe it was a translation because like in the book, it was really kind of clunky, and it was just like I don't know, very repetitive. But the movie is fantastic, really good. Yeah,
I got the movie. Yeah, it was fun. I went to go.
It was fun. It was fun. Yeah,
it's a popcorn flick. You enjoy the action.
That's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah,
like you need that. You know, you need like not every movie's gonna reinvent the wheel or
no, this is perfect escapism. This movie, yeah,
it is. That's it. Popcorn flick, man. Good. Yeah, but you know what's crazy? I saw someone comment. They said there's too much talking and not enough action, and I said,
"In Bullet Train."
I said, "Did we watch the same film?" I said, "There was all action, man."
It was like straight up, like there was no like.
I didn't.
Maybe they're being raw XD, like random, like they're.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
No.
It's fun. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
That's with Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Good.
Sergio.
At the top of my list in terms of entertainment factor.
Top Gun.
Dude.
Top Gun Maverick.
A lot of people like that movie.
Yeah. I love that movie. Fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
I went in with like zero expectations. Yeah, I thought because I did. It's funny. Like, do you guys remember the original Top Gun movie? I still don't know what the fuck that was about. I don't know who are they fighting. I'm not sure what was happening. But so I went low expectations. Fucking loved Maverick.
Maverick was so dope. I was legit. I was blown away.
Yeah.
I went to go see it. One, the trailer impressed me, but two, I think mostly because it was the nostalgia factor, right? So you go kind of into it. It's just gonna be, maybe, not with the highest expectations, but this was actually like, a very entertaining film.
Yeah, and you know, Sergio too. It's like when they're talking about how when they're going over the plans for their final mission, right? When they have to kind of go in that valley and drop the whatever. I'm like, this is fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
They're just like perfect.
I got that too. And then next I've got Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed this one. For me, easily the best Phase 4 Marvel film.
And didn't you say on House of Nerds you enjoyed this more than the original? You thought this was better than the first one?
I have to rewatch the first one, but it might be recency bias. But right now, I would say it's better than the first one.
Better than the first one.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I've hered that too. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Honestly, man, like just the initial reaction was this was very cool. I loved the knock as Namor. I think he stole the show. And I think I don't know, it was Adriean or Joe. You guys kind of you alluded to who's the actress who plays the new Black Panther?
The character Shuri, Lupita.
Shuri. She's not necessarily a lead character or lead actress.
Yeah,
and that's fair. And I think that's an accurate, criticism. But this was very much an ensemble piece, man. You had, like guys like the Knock really stepping up, and Baku and Angela Bassett just
yeah.
I heard she hit it. Yeah,
that woman.
Yeah.
There was a couple scenes with her, Joey. I swear to God, she just.
She is a beautiful woman, man. Beautiful.
Yeah, she's always been great.
Her and Gillian Anderson are two women that just get more beautiful as they get older. Like, I mean, give me Gillian Anderson now any day over young Gillian Anderson. I mean,
forget it. Have you seen Gillian and what was that? What's that Netflix show? She's great in it.
Sex Education. Yeah. Woo! Woo!
You're preaching.
Woo!
I love the like I said, I haven't seen it yet, but I just love the redesign of Namor and just the whole, it's not Atlantis, it's like a Mayan. I just like, well done. Like I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to, because like I love the character. And so
I would say to you, buddy, like if you have the opportunity, check it out in theater, man.
I really should
personally.
Yeah. So Wakanda Forever, and then what else did I have, Johnny?
You got Everything
Everywhere All Once. I agree with Johnny on this one. You're a man of refined taste, clearly. Man, it's a great film. Touching on generational trauma and learned behaviors and things, and I think is very powerful. And Michelle Yeoh is a G. She's a legend. She doesn't get enough credit in Hollywood. Way back, in the 90s, to like Crouching Tiger in the early 2000s and everything. So I think that was great, man. That one moved me. I think I might have shed a tear or two in that one. Yeah. And then what do I have?
All over the place, right? It's emotional. Yeah. It's action packed. It's really funny. Too.
Funny, yes, man. It really is. It's so funny, man. Oh, and then I'd be remiss not to mention Dada from Goonies is in Everything Everywhere All
at Once. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My wife started like, "Hey, isn't that the guy from?" I was like, "Yeah, that's him." Yeah.
I was in tears, and I said, "Hold on, I know Buddy from somewhere." And I'm there, and then I finally, the light.
Short round, yo.
Yeah, it was great. And then my naughty is Fresh.
Fresh.
This was straight up caca. Yeah. Listen,
I know why you put that on.
Why is that?
Elle was supposed to be on with us, and you're gonna like poke the bear. That was bait. That's bait right there. That's bait.
A little bit, but in all honesty, I told Elle the same thing, because I'll say this, she recommended this to me.
Yeah.
You gotta check out Fresh. I really enjoyed it. I said, okay, so I'll check it out. And I hit her up after I watched it. I said, I will never ever listen to one of your recommendations again. Ever. It was the biggest pile of dog crap I've seen. Listen, forget. First of all, it's the change in tone.
Yeah,
the ending is just so ridiculous.
Yeah. Like the beginning, the way the setup is great.
I wouldn't even say that. I didn't. For me, so listen, if it's a straight up rom-com or whatever, okay, whatever, But even as a rom-com, it was not good. And then to have such a jarring change, literally not even like 15 or 20 minutes, like halfway through the film, I said, what is going on here? And at that point, and then it quickly degenerated into some ridiculousness, and I said, no, this is like, I said, I wrote I emailed the production studio. I said, no, I want my time and my money back. I couldn't take it. It was bad. It was terrible. Man. Yeah, I couldn't get into it. So that's my naughty, man. Yeah.
All right, we're breaking into comics now, fellas. We're gonna start out
Nice.
with our favorite publishers. Joseph, it's on
Yeah,
you, bro. What you gonna do?
Man, Dark Horse. I've been reading most of the comics I've been reading lately have been coming from Dark Horse. So they had like Jenny Zero series I was reading in 21 and I continued in 22. Count Crowley was one that came back in 2022. What's the one with a Lonesome Gentleman or whatever? That one's pretty decent, with the old man and the sword, by Crook. He's writing and he's doing the whole shebang. That one's pretty
Tyler
good.
Crook?
Anyway, yeah, Tyler Crook.
Ooh.
He's his book. He's writing, drawing, everything. He's the man of all hats in that one. So it's pretty good. Yeah. Then I had Image, I believe, was my second. And
Yes, sir.
Image, I mean, they put out so much. If you can't find anything at Image that you'll like, then I mean, you just don't like comics. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they have such a vast variety of titles that there's someone in the Image lineup, something in there for everyone. So it's just finding that niche that you like, and I mean, let's face it, they get all the top quality. If it's indie creators that want to put out their own books, they're looking for Image, right? Because Image, they've got their business down, the marketing, everything's there. I mean, you can get on Image, your book more than likely will become a success, more than likely. So, yeah. And then my last one, I was debating between Ablaze, because they've been putting out a lot of good stuff the last couple years, and everything I picked up
last year, they put out a lot of great stuff with Gung Ho, and then the Rhea Lovett books, Porcelain and Arrows, Arrows and Psyche. Good
this
stuff.
year they put out Boogeyman. They put out I have a few others that I had on there. Anyway, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but usually if I get something from Ablaze, it's definitely good to great. So yeah, man,
it's all translated in Euro stuff, so
mostly,
that's always good. Yeah,
most of it. Yeah, exactly. It was either between them or Behemoth Sumerian, but they got bought out, and I wasn't sure where they were going with all their lineup of titles, because Behemoth had some pretty good lineup of titles. Their horror stuff was good. I like the they have fun stuff like the video cassette for the found footage horror books.
That's
It
cool.
looked like a VHS cassette and it came in and out. They're doing some interesting stuff. They had Heavy Metal come out. Heavy Metal Drummer was one of my favorite books from last year. So they are definitely honorable mention. And I wasn't sure how they were going to handle when the record label Sumerian bought out Behemoth. I wasn't sure what direction they were going to take it in. So that's why I was kind of holding off.
I'm pretty sure they'll be good. They're good. They're a good record label. They got some of my favorite bands on them. Like they put out like Dillinger Escape Plan's last album and shit.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where this goes this year. As
did you guys read? Was it We Were Promised Darkness? Yeah, We Were Promised Darkness.
You only promised me darkness was 2021.
Yeah.
He's got a new joint, Nobody's Girl, that just dropped a couple weeks ago.
I read that. Yeah, it's good.
Damien Colony, it's
a 3-parter. The second issue just dropped this week.
That's the one you were talking about last week.
It came this week. Yep, that's right.
Is it also by Behemoth?
That's
Sumerian.
Sumerian.
Now it's Sumerian Comics. Yeah, now that's written Sumerian on it. That's pretty good. Yeah.
If you guys like Behemoth Sumerian, check out Dark Beach. Came out this week. The trade paperback was cool.
Okay.
Which we'll be talking about on the House of Nerds on Sunday.
Yes, we are. We're talking about it on Sunday. That's right. Thank you, Joey. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So that's my publishers. I mean,
Joe, I got to give you some credit because you put me on to Dark Horse, really.
Well, they've been around since.
They've been around forever.
They're the original, right? Yeah, they're the original indie label.
Kinda.
Right?
They snagged up all the Comico and
Comico and all that. That made it.
You kept talking about them, and then I said, okay, let me actually make an effort to check them out. And they've put out some. It's Only Teenage Wasteland. This year, Harrow County. What else have they done? A bunch of stuff, man.
Well, they put out the Devil one there.
Shock Shop from Colin Bunn was cool.
Yeah, they got a couple Colin Bunn books out.
Colin
Yeah.
Bunn does a lot of work for
They
them.
did the other Colin Bunn one too, right? The
Black
one that,
Hammer. They have Black Hammer that comes
Yeah.
out from Jeff Lemire. I mean,
Minor Threats was cool. Minor Threats, the new series, right? From Patton Oswalt and
yeah.
Survival
What's his
Street. Survival Street is
Street.
insane.
Doesn't Umbrella Academy come out on Dark Horse?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have a good lineup of books. I mean, but you don't hear about them as much. Like often, like for some reason, like Image books come out and you always hear it's on Image, right? But there's like Umbrella Academy's a show and everything, but you never hear Dark Horse mentioned. Yeah. Right? It's like you hear about Gerard Way, but you never hear about like the fact that it's Dark Horse, or it's weird how that works sometimes.
It's funny because Dark Horse feels like a throwback, right? You know what I mean? So it's like you're almost surprised they're still around. Like really? Like
that's what it is, I think, yeah.
But they got bought out by a gaming company, so we'll see where they go now. They've so
Adriean.
You know, it's funny. I don't really have like picking a publisher. I don't know. I don't really have like that one publisher I love, but I kind of sort of like look at my pull list, and I still have, Somebody's Killed the Children, which I still love, House of Slaughter, which I'm kind of warming up to again, and then I really like Grimm a lot.
Yeah, Grimm is amazing.
I just find just like I'm getting really particular with like the quality of the books, like like the covers, the paper. You know what I mean? Like I like a publisher that just shows that they put the effort into giving you a good product. And I find Boom just like, I've never gotten a Boom book that I just regret. You know what I mean? I just love everything about it, and they're so consistent. You know what I mean? Like titles are different, but they feel like they're the same. Like there's that bit of that. They're very well. I don't know what's the word I'm saying. Choreographed. Well, it's just well planned out, So like I said, it's just like, it's just picking a publisher was it was a weird one for me because nobody really stood out. Like some stuff that Dynamite's got going on. I don't know. Like the big two, I just haven't really, latched on. Like, my kid still sticks with DC, but like I don't know. Marvel's kind of wearing thin on me. I still like the Daredevil series, right? The Zdarsky one, and then Captain Marvel, and that's really about it. Like I've whittled down my file like so bad. Like I'm only down to like a few titles a month, feels like.
Yeah.
But Grimm I really liked. It's funny though with Grimm. So my daughter, like, she checked out the first issue. She's like, yeah, there's a web comic that this is like a straight ripoff from. And I'm like, really? Yeah. And so she showed it to me. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It was like, it's a little too close for comfort. A little too close for comfort.
Well, that might become a lawsuit.
I was surprised. I was really surprised. No one really had it come out. I didn't mention anything online. Well, I'm mentioning it now, but
people hero worship, so they'll be like, oh well, just because one person came up with the idea doesn't mean another person hasn't already thought of that idea. Because Steph Phillips right now is, she's gained a lot of.
She's gonna come up big time.
Yeah, she's big pimping.
She's like that next kind of generation of like.
Oh yeah. No, I like Grimm. I like it. It's well written.
A lot of people will like, even though like you said, they're like, oh, but they'll be like, no, like never.
Well, it reminds me of of anime from back in the day that I saw. So like I don't like whoever this webcomic is. I don't think was particularly original. So.
Yeah,
I can find out because there's like
because Grimm really reminds me of a manga. Like it really reminds me of a manga or anime type series, the way it's written and drawn. So
well, this webtoon, like this webcomic, even like the red, black, and white kind of color palette as well.
They probably both stole from the same place. So
it could be. It's just but I really enjoy it. So and like I said with Somebody's Killed the Children, I like, it's just amazing. It's still, there are 26, 27 issues in, and it just still feels like fresh to me. It's still relevant. And
for me, Boom hit a little bit of a lull for me in the beginning of 2022. And I found like in the second half, they kind of picked up. Like there was more books coming out, and I was like, started getting, because in the beginning of 2022, I was like, man, their books don't seem that appealing to me. Like I was trying, and I wasn't didn't have it. Now I've been adding since the second half of 2022. I've added a few more of their books onto my pool. But for a while there, I was like,
damn them
I
all,
don't know.
man.
Yeah, I
That
was like,
is so good, dude. Damn them all is
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, and also too, like because of the whole Scout Comics thing too, like I got into a lot of their titles, and so like I got into like the Shepherd. The Shepherd I really liked, and then Agents of World.
yeah.
God damn, the interior work in that, like the background is just, it's just like on steroids, you know.
That is insane. What is the art of the Philia?
I can't remember his name, but I just like, I'm just reading this, I'm looking at this, and it's like
this just
it's a visual overload. You know what I mean?
It's like a mix between like Jeff Darrow and the guy who does Ice Cream Man.
Yeah,
well, and then
Marazio and Jeff Darrow, straight up.
Mixed together, kind of. That's the vibe I get from it.
And then you know, King Jira.
Marazzo with the fine lines. I see that. Okay. Yeah.
But also like they released like King Jira. You know.
Oh yeah, King Jira was amazing.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, that
like
was
Marco.
good.
Yeah, Marco Fontanelli.
Fontanelli,
yeah.
He's gonna be a fucking monster. Like he's gonna be an absolute monster. And I just like, you know, to have him like as a variant cover artist, like I'm like fucking beyond, right? But and then I liked Impossible Jones as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I mean, like I said, the only reason I really got into like, you know, checking their books is because of whatever, being part of it now, right? But yeah, I've really enjoyed you know, like there's such a variety. Like they have so many different, you know, titles and styles underneath their belt, you know, so there's something for everybody. So I'm changing my answer. I'm going to Scout Comics. There you go.
Oh man.
Maybe they'll bump up your rate for you.
Yeah.
As for me, like Joey, I'm going to Old Faithful, man. Image. Like, it's just the safe space. You know you're going to get quality. Yeah. And, like, a lot of my favorite people just publish there. And they've had, like, a really strong showing all year, man. Especially towards the end. A lot of these books they put out the last couple months, so good, man. Like, Image is just rocking it. And then, of course, AWA, really good stuff. Second series of Eradicator and is going. We got Hit Me, which is probably one of my favorite books of the year.
Yeah, it was good.
So yeah, AWA, it just been blowing me away there. And then Aftershock, who has also had a really strong year. I'm been really digging their stuff. Dogs of London and you know, Maniac in New York, Bunny Masks,
Bunny Mask, book.
Yeah. Just really cool, really awesome horror stuff. Mostly I've been checking out from them, but yeah, they're kind of my old reliable too. I really just gravitate to those three studios this year for some reason.
I love Bunny Mask, by the way. I just loved everything about that book. You know, I love the character design, the covers, the story too is great.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this guy
with his.
Fuck! Someone's pulling their dick out. Nice.
Beautiful.
I gotta give credits to my co-host.
Oh man, that's good.
One here.
She got that.
Yeah. It's fucking sick. I love it, man.
Where'd she get that?
Is it a store exclusive?
God damn it. That's nice.
Oh, yeah, it's it just pops.
Yeah. No, I know Elle was like, I think it was Elle was posting a bunch of covers over the last year.
Yeah, she does that cover a month. Each day has a theme, and you post the cover. Yeah.
Oh, there she is. She's back in the chats. She heard her name and she jumped back in.
Yeah.
I don't know you. So I just, you know what? I did want to add Aftershock to this because I love Aftershock. You know, Bunny Mask. I got some titles here, Johnny. If you want to throw up the camera real quick. You know, Brother of All Men is fucking phenomenal. And then, you know, Maniac in New York.
Yeah.
Right after Vault, they're my favorite indie, but you know, I don't know if you guys heard what's going on with them.
Yeah,
with their super late or non-payments to their
yeah,
creators.
we've heard
Yeah.
rumblings. Yeah,
Yeah, so for that
Ugh.
reason, I didn't include them. Otherwise, absolutely, I love
yeah.
Oh,
Aftershock. I love their
Well,
titles, man, you know.
we're actually going to be doing a show, one of our first show, our comic show first back after we do
Hmm.
our music episode on January 6th. The next one will be our first one back. It'll be our 49th episode, and we're
Okay.
going to do a the state of affairs.
Okay.
We're going
Oh, nice.
to
Yeah.
take a big, long, hard look at the comic industry and all
Hmm.
these little rumors or trends that seem to be arising from several different publishers and just the
Yeah.
state of the industry, because there's a lot of little red flags that have been coming up in
Yeah.
2022,
I think
and
I think
it's starting
that's
to
a good
smell like
idea.
the 90s. It's starting to smell like the 90s again.
the bubble's popping. The
I don't
bubble
know
is
if the bubble's
popping.
going to pop, but episode 49 is going to be the state of affairs. We're going to have people on. We're going to discuss where we think if the bubble is going to pop and what's going on. So when we come back from the holiday break, we'll be touching on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sure to check that out. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea for a show, man, because there's a lot
Yeah.
going on right now.
There is
Yeah.
So much,
a
you
lot
know,
of rumblings going on right now.
shenanigans and rumblings. So, I mean, like, just from a strictly, what they publish, Aftershock has to be there. But I don't like what I'm hearing right now.
Yeah,
Other than that, Image, it's cool to not include Image,
yeah.
like counterculture. But listen, at the end of the day, Image puts out they're most consistent. They got the volume, they've got the great quality, so you have to include them in there. And then Vault is my favorite indie. Might be one of my favorite publishers. Period, man.
Yeah.
They got books
They're
like
solid. Yeah.
The
Barbarian.
Blue Flame, Barbarian, End After End, man.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of stuff, man. So
Their Nightfall books, their horror line is good. Yeah, man.
Crazy, man. And they've got like a talented staff of artists and creators, man. You got Kurt Michael Russell, Chris Sheehan, they got Tim Daniels on doing a lot of design for their books and stuff. So Vault is, man, they're top tier.
But I think you got to give Image props too, because they're getting so big now that it's keeping the big two more honest, right? Like,
well, it's a big three now, really.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
big three,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like now,
They're there.
if they mistreat their creators or don't pay them well, they'll just be like, "Fuck you! I'll do it myself through Image."
Yeah.
So it helps create a balance within the industry where
Yeah.
the big two just can't be like, "Oh, it's this way or it's the highway," right? They'd be like, "No," because Image is here and they're willing to help us do great things. Like, and to be honest, their comics are better.
They got the quality at the end of the day. Yeah,
sure.
100%. Like, it cannot be denied, man.
Yeah.
Image is great. I love them, man. And then Vault, Aftershock. Johnny, who said AWH? Was that you, Johnny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, AWA is great, man.
Yeah.
They keep John Lee working. That's enough to get my vote, man. Give him John Lee more
they're
work.
killer, man. They've got the Resistance trade paperback that just dropped, I think, this week or last week. New Think was cool. AWA is awesome. Year Zero, the zombie joints, man. So I love them too, man. Yeah.
So
a lot of great stuff.
All right. This one will probably get Sergio happy. We're doing covers. Joey.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. All right. I got to give Maria Wolf her props. She's my favorite cover artist. And to be honest, Ghost Rider for Marvel, fucking covers for that series have been phenomenal. But it's hard not to make a good cover with a character like that. His look, a flaming head on a motorbike. How could you not make cool covers of that character? It's impossible. So I picked this one, but you could pick multiple Ghost Rider covers because it's such a cool character design that it's hard not to make it cool. And Heavy Metal Drummer had a few really cool covers. I was torn between that cover for issue 1 and the cover for issue. Which one is this one? I don't know if this is issue 3 or 4. This one, I wasn't sure which cover, so I went with that one. But there's a few really cool covers from it, and then Noble's cover for Rain #5 was fantastic. He's got a cool style. I think he's working on Behemoth book. Is that it, or is it the other Pac Nadell book? I can't remember. Anyway, he's
Casper Wingard's working on the Packnendel image book.
okay. So it's the other one. It's the Behemoth one, and I think right. Anyway, he's working on one of those books there. So yeah, it's getting pretty good reviews. People are digging it. So his style, he's got a good style. So yeah.
How is the new Ghost Rider? I haven't read since Brisbane was writing it. I haven't checked out the new one yet.
I've only read the first 2 issues. I haven't caught up on that. So the first issue was good. I was kind of lukewarm about the second one. So, and I haven't gone further into it. So yeah, Behold Behemoth. That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, Robles is working on that now. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It's your turn, LaRusso.
It's funny, right? It's hard to pick like one, right? I think I got a few, but so Jacob Phillips for Forever Forward. Man, it was fun. It was one of those where it's just like I read the synopsis of the story. It's a your typical time travel story, but just like I love Jacob Phillips, obviously that Texas Blood. Just I guess it was like the lightness of the cover and the movement in it. It was just a great representation of of a good time traveler book. And it was funny, like when I saw it in the previews, I'm like, it was an instant sell to me. I was so excited for this, obviously for the cover and that. But it was funny where it's like I didn't really care for the story as much,
Yeah.
No, really, it was just kind of it was a bit of a letdown, I mean, it was one of those cases where at least I got a nice cover. But the story, it was just one of those things. I think it was like 4 or 5 characters, and at the end of it, you couldn't really tell the characters apart. They're all like kind of one note characters, and there's a lot going. It was just too much. There was a lot going on. Anyway, I don't want to say too much bad things about an indie book, but yeah, no, that cover, I thought it was just like I said, just like it just came down to the movement of this, and I was kind of surprised that Jacob Phillips, like he did great work in that Texas Blood, but this one kind of really took me by surprise that he knocked this one out.
It looks classic. It reminds me of
it's a classic, yeah.
It looks like what I would how I kind of remember old Kurt Busiek's Astro City covers looking, kind of Alex Rossi, but
and Alex Ross, yeah, that's really what yeah. Speaking of Alex Ross, I probably could have put up the entire Iron Man run of his covers, right? It's just absolutely disgusting. But the other one I was going to mention was Project Superpowers. Yeah, that's one I totally forgot about.
Who's working on it now? They kind of always been playing around with that.
Yeah, so the cover is Mike Ruth. Yeah, so I just anyway, love his cover.
Sliders.
But yeah, no. Anyway, so I mean, check Forever Forward out. I mean, you guys might dig it. I think they're up to issue 5 now. I think that just came out. So I'm gonna probably give it another shot. Also to King Jira.
Oh yeah, dude.
Right. This book was absolutely insane. I got a bit of glare here. This is just a fun ass book. Like the interior was great. So this is my introduction to Marco.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I ordered the big the art version that came out, the black and white, and I never got it. I stopped. Fucking. I've been having problems getting Scout books through my shop.
You know what? Yeah, and I know the hurricane too. That didn't help either, right? So yeah. But hey, I don't know.
Oh well.
As for me, I'm going with Deadly Class issue 56, covered by J.G. Jones. It's basically a showcase of all the cool characters from Giant Reactor Comics. That's all Rick Remender stuff at Image. I'm an absolute Rick Remender stan, if you don't know. So, like, something like this really, really gets me hard, especially it being the last issue of Deadly Class. Like, Deadly Class is my favorite Remender book, so, like...
Yeah.
So good. And then of course next I have the Dave Johnson issue 1 cover for Grimm, which is just gorgeous. I love Dave Johnson anyways. I've been a huge fan of his ever since he worked at Vertigo doing covers for 100 Bullets. And then of course the Danny cover for Lovesick issue number 1. just so gorgeous. Absolutely adore that comic. Elle, thank you so much for telling us to read it. I really, really love Sick. You're gonna probably hear Luana Vecchio get brought up a lot in the later half of this show. So yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, Seer Red was Rick Remender. Like Sal Good Sam drew an arc of that, and yeah, some other people. But Sergi
Yeah, I had so we nominated a bunch of stuff in the nerdies. I tried to include stuff that wasn't on there. So Savage Smallwood on the left, Greg Smallwood, that's for that Texas Blood number 14.
Yeah.
I love anything Savage puts out, man. He's great. The middle book there is Zoo Zoo. To me, there's not a better cover artist in the game right now, represented from Kirby's comic art team. And this cover's got a little bit sentimentality for me because they debuted this one on the House of Nerd show at the top of the year. Yeah, the Nerdies.
At the Nerdies,
yeah, man. Zoo came on and they gave us a bit of an exclusive on this one, so that was cool.
Yeah.
And besides that, I mean, Zoo's just she's fucking amazing, man. And then on the right is Jenny Frizen. For me, this one it just pops. It's sexy, it's sleek.
Frizen is solid.
Yeah,
she's great.
Frizen has been one of the most consistent cover artists for like the last, I would say, 5 years, man. I think I first got into her when she started doing the Rebirth Wonder Woman variant covers, right? Which was like a good, that was 2016, So yeah, man, those are my three. And then I'd be remiss not to mention this one right here. Another Kirby's comic art is Vincenzo Riccardi. He's like he's incredible, man. He's incredible. This is a gatefold. It's like 3 folds out. So
okay. So that's just a third of the cover. Cool.
That's just a third of the cover. Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, man. I mean, we're like we're spoiled, man. There's so many incredible artists out. It's just anything you pick, really.
Diving into crowdfunded goodness. Yeah, place where we like to hang out. Joey.
Cankor was something I was super excited about because I tried buying this, but it was out of print. So when I saw that Matthew Allison was crowdfunding a hardcover reprint of this, I jumped on it immediately. So
you're better off getting the one that he crowdfunded because it's the whole book. The first trade paperback's only half of it, so you're better off waiting.
And man, I was not disappointed. His work is fantastic. Like, visually. Man.
Both styles too, like the weird cosmic style, and then his more realistic, like black and white style, so neat.
Exactly. Yeah. Blam and Glam. I mean, if someone puts me in their comic, I'm gonna get. I'm gonna put them on a list.
Slut.
And then I got the final part to EPHK, the Kickstarter I backed in 2021. The third part, Active Measures, came out. I just got that at the beginning of the fall, and I can't say enough good things about his work. And EPHK is talented as fuck, man. Yeah,
great dude too. Nick's a crack up. He's a good dude.
Hey, what is that first one, that Cankor? That shit looks dope.
Yeah, that's
Matthew
good.
Allison's book. Yeah, he's really good. Yeah,
send me the link after. I want to check that out.
Matthew Allison. He's on Instagram. If you just go see Matthew Allison, hit him up in his bio. He has a
LinkedIn
store.
or Linktree.
Yeah. On Black Friday, he had a deal. He had a deal on Black Friday where you get the prints with the book and all kinds of stuff, man. He might still have Matthew Allison, and I think he might have a holiday sale going on as well. I don't know if it's over yet, but you could go check it out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks right up my alley, bud.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Adrian, I got to give you props for this one, man. I thought I was the only one that backed Ragdoll.
Man, you know what? Listen, I gotta tell you, what really drew me to this was the no frills approach to this Kickstarter. It's like this kid showed up, fucking put a table out, no tablecloth, and said, just buy my fucking book, right? For like $4. There was no stretch rewards, no vinyl records, I mean, this kid just like
Just get this black and white from the printer comic book for this price. And
honest to God, this was so punk rock that like he just came out, did the 3 countdown, knocked out 29 minutes. You couldn't take a 30th minute, right? And it was funny. It's like he didn't really have much of a write up on himself, or whoever was working on it. So the kids, I say it's a kid because his picture, he looks like
Max Hauser. Yeah, he looks like he's about
Max
21.
Right? And then I'm just flipping through it, and this feels like vintage, like in
90s bad girl shit. Yeah, like
90s, I reread this before the show, and I just like, it's funny. It's like there's some like it's like oddball stuff, like odd pacing and how he kind of ends one issue to the next, right? You could probably do with an editor, but it gives a fuck. I mean, this was just a fun book to read. And like I said, I was just so inspired just by, he didn't have to sell me, with fucking balloon animals and anything like that. He just he just kept it simple and pure. This is the most pure Kickstarter that I backed, this year. And I really enjoyed it.
What's his name?
Max Hauser.
Max Hauser. So it's Ragdoll.
Max Hauser. I'm gonna check that right now. Okay.
So
he's really nice too. Like if you ever contact him.
Oh yeah, no, you know what? I just I'm a fan, and I'm looking forward to his next whatever he's got coming up. But also I guess like Blam and Glam. I should throw that in there as well. Like Richard like pumps out shit like a goddamn pro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's like that.
One of the most consistent Kickstarter guys I know, man. He's got an issue out like every 3 weeks or 3 months. I mean,
just super nice guy too. Like
super nice guy, unbelievable pace,
super
quality.
Outgoing, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then the other one I backed this year was Tights issue 2. Mm-hmm. I just like Chris Wygant. Super nice guy. It's just a quality book. It's a good solid Kickstarter. And he actually hooked up with that LA outfit, Lesser Known Comics, right? Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen with that going forward. So I don't know if you guys ever talked to Mark from Lesser Known. Super nice guy, like really nice guy.
Aren't they picking up the Samurai?
Metalhead Samurai, yeah. So Metalhead Samurai, and then I think I'm supposed to do something with them as well with Dylan. But Dylan's busy with whatever. And Dylan,
he's
just like
Kickstarter or just finished a Kickstarter.
Like
the dog,
Grumbles.
Grumbles, yeah.
Grumbles. Yeah. He didn't mention anything. So all of a sudden I'm just like scrolling. He goes, "Yeah, but Kickstarter is live." I'm like, "What fucking Kickstarter?" I had no idea, right? Because it's funny, like, because Dylan didn't do a build up. He didn't do like the whole,
Instagram
sign up for
nothing. All that stuff.
You know how you should like at least 2 months in advance you do like a preview and build up your followers, right? Sign up so when it goes live you get your whatever. Nothing. Yeah. He's like, yeah, it's up. It's up. It's like, what? So I was like, fuck. So I was like reposting, and I was kind of like, telling people, right? Because I'm like, fuck, like, I kind of felt bad. I'm like, he's got to get this thing funded. We got it funded, which is great. So, so I'm looking forward to Grumbles, but I'm really looking forward to like this Metalhead Samurai reboot. It's a reboot for me because he already put out issue 1 a few years ago. So, you guys are gonna love Metalhead Samurai. You guys are really gonna love it. Yeah.
Sweet. For me, I got Kisha, Demon Eater, issue 1. It's basically a graphic novel by Newton Littlelovos and Giancarlo Bernal. They do Crescent City Monsters. This is kind of a spinoff of that. This is really cool. It's kind of soul cinema, and kind of snotty schoolgirl. She's possessed by a demon out in the bayou, and she kicks major ass, dude. It's a lot of fun, really cool comic. And Giancarlo Bernal's art is just beautiful. Like the cover, that's what the entire book looks like with that grayscale and that it's just so gorgeous, man. Like nice. He is literally like one of the cleanest looking indie artists I know. Next up, I have Metallic Dynamite by Jordan Thomas and a bunch of artists. This is his kind of anthology thing. It's got a short story from Weird Work in it, though, with Shaky Kane, which is one of the main reasons I bought it. But Jordan's always just a good guy. He always puts out quality stuff. He's got that great British sense of humor. Love him. And, of course, Dig, man. Like, I don't know. Like, that's probably one of the best things that I've read all year. John Lee's never disappoints, but with his Sync stuff, Sync's always my favorite of his, and he did not disappoint with Dig, man. The Ghoster was such a great villain. It all just tied together perfectly. I can't wait for Arc 3 of Sync to start next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew you were going to put that on your list, so I didn't bother. I was like, give an extra shout out to someone else, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one. Dig was good. Yeah.
I gotta love Sergio's picks too, man. Steve Urena, man, the homeboy.
Yeah, man. Zombie Date Night, man. That shit was just straight up fun. Zombies, you got abuelitas, you know.
With the chanclas, hell yeah.
With the chanclas, with the chancletazos, man. So that shit was dope. Looking forward to that next issue whenever that drops. Caffeinated Heart is just a great kind of slice of life, a gem, anthology style, cyberpunkish.
It got picked up by Source Point after the Kickstarter.
It did, yes, it did, which was great. Yep. And then of course, the big homie Richard Morgan, man,
Richard.
Glam. We had his issue number 5 launch party at the House of Nerd. We had a great time with that, man. His biggest launch ever, and looking forward to digging into that. I was lucky; I got to read like all 4 or 5 of them in a row, so I didn't have to like wait them out.
Yeah,
it read really well, man. It's cool. His art is super killer, man. It's dope, man. That painted style, man. So shout out Richard, man. Doing big things, man.
Yeah, he did the action figure. I wish it was more affordable because I would have gotten one, but
oh man, fuck! I felt so bad about that, right? Because I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this, right?" I'm like, "Oh, dude, I can't afford that for an action."
No, me either. I was like, "Oh,
fuck!" Yeah. I was like, "Oh, that broke my heart, man." Because it's like, fuck, because I thought it'd be like $30, right? Because I think I charged $25, $30.
I was willing to go up to 50 at the most.
Yeah, that would have been my mark. But I'm like,
when I saw the 100, I was like, yeah, no, I'm out.
Does he know we're in Canada? Like, our currency is like,
And that's what kills us, to be honest. In Canada, is the exchange rate and the shipping, man.
Yeah,
why a lot of times I do not get physicals for these Kickstarters.
Yeah, I mainly do PDFs now.
Yeah.
Unless it's someone that comes on the show and we've built a really good rapport with them, then I'll splurge on the shipping and stuff. But
yeah. Like when you're paying, like $18 for one floppy, it's
fuck it out.
I don't want to support you, guy, but like that's
it hurts. It hurts.
It's tough too, especially when like the books. There's probably no chance it's going to go up in value, right? It's just going to probably unless something happens, right? Unless it gets picked up, and then then you're laughing, right? But yeah.
So that's one thing I want to do for 23 is like get into little Kickstarters a little bit more. You guys, I know you guys are Kickstarter connoisseurs, and same with Al. She like backs.
Hell yeah, Al backs a lot. Yeah.
I'm very picky, but the ones, luckily, the ones I've backed have been like super cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now it's artists. Joey, who are your?
Yeah, man. Daniel Warren Johnson. I mean. This guy is, he can do no wrong. I was chatting with Fulci about this because he was like, Johnny does a better imitation of Fulci than I do, but he's like, the only wrestling book I'll ever buy is John Lee's. He's like, that was the one and only.
I'm not buying that shit. The only wrestling book I'll read is John Lee's book.
But I was like, dude, it reads like an X-Men comic. I was like, it kind of has like a Mojo vibe, Like if you like X-Men in the Mojo world, this definitely gives off those same vibes. Like, but it's Daniel Warren. It's like, well, then he better make a fucking X-Men book, and I'll read that. But anyway,
hit us with that impression.
Yeah.
You want to hear me do Matt? It fucking sucks. Okay.
Yeah.
This guy, bro.
Yeah. So the second artist, I can't remember who was second on my list. Was it okay,
Alex
Alex
Cormack,
Cormack?
right?
Yeah, man. I don't know if you guys he's doing Dig, he did Crimson Cage. He actually has a new book coming out with Rich Dueck. I don't remember the title of it, but yeah, but he's actually working on another book called Duel. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. It's from Bliss on Tap. And anyway, it's a cool book. It's where people sign up to duel, right? And it's on the internet, and it's a really cool book. And Alex Cormack, as usual, just kills it on the art. So Duel is a great book. And of course, I talked about him earlier, Matt Lenewski. I mean, I love his stuff. He's got an odd, weird style that might not be good for everyone's taste, but I mean, he's so good though. I love his stuff. And,
I love those cartoonist guys, man. They're the bread and butter.
Yeah, I got a soft spot for cartoonists. That's why almost every guy except for Alex, they dominate my list every year, those cartoonists. So yeah. So those are my three, man. Like, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Alex Cormack does no wrong.
He does the best gore, man. I love his gory scenes, man.
Yeah. It's awesome. And I don't know if it's always his wife that colors a lot of his stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Allred and his woman, man. Like, it's cool when you get these, like, I don't know if you want to call them power couples or whatever, but you know, it's fun. Kind of like
Frank Miller and Lynn Varley.
Conrad and yeah, it's awesome. I like it. I like seeing that. It's fun.
Adriean.
Again, too, I just picked one, so I went with. Before we go with Peach, I just want to I was going to mention Per Perez, and the run on the Carla Pacheco Spider Woman. I fucking loved it. I was so upset when they stopped that series at, like, I think issue 25 or something like that. So anyway, that was a quality book. Inside and out. Anyway, so Peach Momoko. I love her. I love everything about her. I think what it is, it's obviously it's her instant recognizable style, right? It's like for me, there's nobody else right now that puts out work like her. And what I like about her is, it's funny, she can do like something very soft and cuddly. And then she can do like more like along like horror and that, right? Where she could really go dark.
Her Red Room covers are so. I love her Red Room covers.
Yeah, man, her Gambit is just like, and just the nicest person too. It's funny. I contacted her. I sent her an email, asked her if she could do a cover for me. She got back to me right away. And she's like, thank you very much. I'd love to, but I'm contracted to Marvel, and then I have a short list of people that I'm allowed to work with, on my contract and all that, which I thought was. She didn't have to tell me that. She could basically told me to fuck off, right? Or I'm too busy, right? But yeah, she laid out exactly why and whatnot, and I replied back to her. I said, thank you very much. She's like, congratulations on your book and blah blah blah. And I'm like, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and just left it at that, right? I didn't want to hound her.
That's cool.
And also, it's really cool. Awesome. But it's funny. It's like I kind of sort of skipped out on the Demon Days series, but then I was at an Indigo, and they had like the omnibus or whatever, and I'm kind of flipping through it, and my God, it was just like some of the scenes that she laid out in there. I'm going to go back. I'm gonna try and knock out all these books, right? But yeah, in terms of like a distinctive voice, I think she's like the most distinctive voice right now out there.
Yeah, Mocha's great.
As for me, this guy's a newcomer, kind of. Dave Messina. He's new to me. I've been checking out his other stuff because I found out he's been active since about 2002. He's a European artist. He's kind of busted out really right now with his new Marvel or Image series, 3 Keys, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's probably one of my favorite new series. Like, it might have been on a list if it was only 3 issues in, but Oh, dude, it's just such a blast, and his art is just so gorgeous. So yeah, David Messina is definitely a guy to look out for. Then I got Flaviano Armentaro, the artist for Grimm, and
Mm,
I don't care what anybody says. Like that is the prettiest book that's out right now.
I
Like Grimm
agree.
is
Yeah.
just gorgeous, dude.
Oh.
Like. And it's not that bad of a comic either, but like, oh man,
Mhm.
like there's definitely a main contributing factor of the creative team that really drives most eyes to the book, and oh man, it is gorgeous. And then, of course, my boy Wes Craig, because his big series Deadly Class just came to an end, but he bounced back with Kea, which is just such a fun, great, like Frank Miller esque, post-apocalyptic joyride, man. I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, dude, like I really liked how he. After Deadly Class was done, he had a brand new book ready to go, and it does not disappoint, man. Wes Craig just killing it.
Mm, nice.
Sergio.
Yeah, Greg Savage Smallwood of Human Target. I love the interiors on that. That 50s aesthetic is mint. Love the color palette on that. And then he had that Texas Blood variant we showed earlier, Moon Knight, Midnight Suns, all that good stuff. And Andre Lima, Righteous Thirst for Vengeance was for me the best limited series this year. And
Mm.
what made that book so great and why I put him here at the top is I don't think I've read a book recently that the art really was the emotional driver behind the book, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
not that Remender didn't do his thing. He did his thing on that book. It was great, you know? But
The fate, the emotions on the faces and the movement, and you
yeah,
can you could hand over that series to like a director, and they'd be like, "Fuck it, we'll just make it straight off of this," right? Like
exactly. It's
really,
like a
really, yeah,
storyboard, man, and just
yeah,
even how the action, how he
yeah.
it was, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
oh, it was amazing. I loved it. It probably resonated with me on an emotional level, artistically more than any other book
Mhm.
this year, man. Yeah.
So I did. Somebody did criticize that book. I think it was the only criticism I heard of that book was they're basically saying, oh, this is just a storyboard for a movie,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, yeah, it's like, well, why not, right? Like honestly,
Yeah.
they could have gone completely wordless in that book, and I would have been fine with it.
And so yeah, Remender, he really kind of mastered how to express the most with the least amount of words in that book, man.
I'm
And
really
yeah,
curious too
yeah.
how the relationship was between him and the artist, right? The writer and artist,
Mhm.
right? Because he must have really given the artist like a lot of rope. Like I'm very. I would love to see like a behind the scenes on the making of that.
See what the breakdowns look like,
Yeah,
what the breakdowns they send out
The
were.
script, yeah.
the
Definitely.
script. I would
Yeah.
love to see the script because I'm really curious of how descriptive,
Yeah.
the panels are laid out, or if he just kind of gave like a bit of a general kind of idea, and then the artist just kind of said, "Okay, I got this from here." Like
Mhm.
Because
that
for the
would
first
really.
trade paperback, there's probably only about 60 words in the whole thing. And the
I'm
second
so
second
fascinated.
arc there was a lot more words, but
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
really as much as you get in most other comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
You're right.
book really
Sure.
feels like a true collaboration.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
which makes like the art direction all that more impressive, right? It just
Hmm.
I feel that was the engine behind that book, really, to me, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He's
What a
great, man.
gorgeous book. Yeah.
It really is,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
From that opening issue on the streets of Vancouver and Chinatown, and
Oh, just
like,
the build up,
oh
just a simple day to day, and
yes,
it's just
waiting for the
yeah,
bus and just the
just
little
waiting for the bus,
details and
right?
stuff. It
Seriously, if
was
they would have had again to go back, someone taking a shit, if they would have had a picture of him taking a shit, I'd be like, this is fucking beautiful. You know
honestly,
what I
that
mean?
could be
Like,
a panel of the year, man. Oh, it was great. Yeah, I love that book, man. I can't.
I don't know why I'm so obsessed with like characters going to the bathroom. You know what I mean? It's like everybody does it. It's a common thing, but it never shows up in a movie. You know what I mean?
Are we
Or
getting any of
whatever.
that in Intracovi, bro? Or
Fuck,
which
you know
one?
what? I got time. I could probably almost put a point where I can have
Bring it
Jacoby
on,
say, just hold
man.
on a second, I'm gonna go take a shit. I could probably write that in there. I got one little bit there. So I might just do it. Yeah, a little wink and a nod, but yeah, my God, it's just
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have your guy reading the same book that Travolta's character is reading in Pulp Fiction. You know that great bathroom scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tarantino knew it, right? Put a guy in the toilet, right? Right? He knows.
Yeah,
He knows,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. With the toaster, it was great. Yeah. It's a great little scene. What a way to go out, though, eh? So anticlimactic. So,
oh my god. Yeah, I rewatched that the other day too. Pulp Fiction. Fuck. I didn't appreciate it at the time as much as I do now. It's just like, God, so well done.
It's one of those films that I throw it on. I try to throw it on once or twice a year.
Yeah, you know, it's funny with Tarantino. Sorry, to get off topic, but it's funny with him. It's like, you know, the focus is always on his, you know, on his cartoon violence, right? But man, for me, his focus is always his dialogue. It's always just about the conversation. You know, like you can have a conversation go for 20 minutes, and you're like absolutely like the opening in Inglourious Bastards. You know, on in the farmhouse, right? Like it's one of my favorite scenes of all time. You know, I just like Christoph Waltz was just
it's great.
Unfucking believable. Yeah.
When did Pulp Fiction come out? Like 94? I mean, I was how old?
94. Yeah, it was 94.
Even at that age,
it
was the dialogue. It was those conversations that really caught my attention. You know.
But he had that dialogue already in Reservoir Dogs.
Oh yeah,
you know, there's a lot of that. So that's just always been his MO. And then you know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as well. You know, just
and I think he worked on the script for True Romance as well.
Yeah, he wrote he worked
with Oliver Stone. Well. Yeah, he worked with Oliver Stone quite a bit on scripts, screenplays. Yeah.
True Romances. Yeah, I like that flick.
Yeah. There's some
Tony Scott's a good director, man.
What was that one? The Rodriguez film. Night
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah. Underrated movie. That one doesn't get as much praise as it should.
Oh, that's cool. You know?
Yeah.
Sure. Cheech's scene at the
classic. If we don't have it, you don't want it.
Exactly.
That's a great when he's selling it. Yeah. All right. So what's the next category, Johnny?
Writers, Joey. What you got for
Writers.
us?
All right, I got a double nominee here. I'm going with Daniel Warren Johnson for writer as well. And the only reason why I gave him a double is because he's actually has a writing credit to his name now where he doesn't draw. So Jurassic League, he writes it, but it's another artist. So that's why I was like, man, he's actually going to start pull a Zdarsky now. He's just going to write. Maybe he won't draw anymore. So we'll see. We'll see if that's the route he takes.
Plus, the stuff that he writes and draws, he is really solid. He's a good all-around talent. Yeah. So,
and next on my list is Sean Lewis. Above Snakes, man. It was one of my favorite books this year, and I enjoyed Bliss, and I enjoyed a bunch of his other stuff. So Sean Lewis is on my list this year, and
Tony Hawk.
He made me a fan. Yeah. Then Tony Hawk, Patrick Kidlin. Man, I enjoyed his Frontiersman. He's definitely gives off Black Hammer vibes, and he's building this little world at Image, kind of like in the same vein as Black Hammer, where he's gonna have multiple titles that take place in this same world with different characters, and I dig it, man. It's pretty good. So
yeah, I like Antioch. I haven't read Frontiersman yet, but I had the first 2 issues of Antioch, and that was mad fun.
So he's building kind of similar like Lemire was doing with Black Hammer. Well, he's doing the same thing with winks to older comics, and a lot of his characters and stories are inspired by shit he read when he was a young kid, the comics he read. So it should be a fun little ride to follow that. So, yeah. So those are my 3.
Adriean.
Yeah, I mean, my God. I mean, this guy can't, you know, he's can't do no wrong.
James.
So, yeah, I still like the Closet. God damn, I just like great read. But yeah, I just really, I mean, this guy just can't do no wrong. You know, with the Some Skilled Children, and then you know, Department of Truth, and yeah. Sorry, I just again, I'm thinking of other names here now too, right? I'm just thrown off now, right? So like I was thinking like Michel Fife for Copra, and then Kelly Thompson for Captain Marvel.
Mhm.
I still love her stuff. Every now and then I still read her like Star miniseries, right? That 5 issue
What is she
run, and
working on right now? I haven't.
well, I think she's still doing like Captain Marvel's still going.
She's still
Which I'm
working
kind
on
of
that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised actually. Like I thought that would have like petered out at the same time as Spider Woman, and
Is she
then
working on any X-Men titles?
you know what? I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. And then
Yeah,
and
I
then
haven't been keeping up with my big twos. So
and then Fife. Yeah, I mean, just Copra. He still pumps out like at least like 2-3 issues a year. And so yeah, you almost want to aspire to be that guy, right? He just like doesn't have to rely on a publisher. Just kind of does his own thing.
his own
And the
thing.
stories
Yeah.
stories are still great in that. So yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Good stuff.
And with me,
Is this me?
no,
Is
that's
this
me.
eh? Oh, that's you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with Big Daddy Rick Remender.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a huge stan of his, and he had a really good year. Even though like it's probably like light work, like we got done saying, like a Righteous Thirst for Vengeance probably shows some talents that he hasn't had before. Because usually he's quite wordy, but it was really neat to see him rely on his artist as much as he did. And then of course, we were talking about how hard it is to stick an ending. Well, he landed his with Deadly Class. I was so scared about reading the end of it because it's my favorite comic after East or West ended. So, and that also ended perfectly. So when Deadly Class ended perfectly, I was just like, dude, Rick, whatever you put out next, I'm gonna be so down for it. So he's always going to be on the list. And then this one I didn't really expect to have on here, but man, is he just keep impressing me with how he is testing himself and going deeper and darker into his little horror worlds that he's creating. And Jeff Lemire, man, like I did not expect to see him become some kind of master of horror in his later career, but he's nailing it, and I'm having a lot of fun with the weird little quirky horror tales that he's putting out. Really blowing me away. I kind of thought he would be slowing down with his career at this point, but man, he seems to be like trying to go for that Colin Bunn glory, having like all these books out every month, and they all rock, man. So keep it coming, Jeff. I'd love to see it. And then last but not least, we have Christina Faust, who I'm kind of new to her. I read her 2 books from AWA last year. I read Bad Mother and what was the other one, the cowboy one? Redemption, which were great. But dude, Hit Me this year. Oh man, she took it to another level. She's on fire. I really, really dig her, what she's doing and what she's coming out with. So yeah, Christina Faust are just
good picks.
Really all around.
Hit Me was good. Yeah, she's I like her stuff. Definitely good. Yeah.
Landed the end of Righteous. Yeah. Johnny, have you voted yet on the Nerdies?
No, man, I'm gonna do it probably after the show. I kind of forgot because I was there on your nomination stream, but
there's a lot of crossover there, man. A lot of your picks, man. So yeah,
cool.
For sure. There we go. No. So Jeff Lemire, man, yeah, he's crushed it this year. May's book was absolutely stellar. 10,000 Black Feathers has been, just the definition of atmospheric, man. Great stuff. Little Monsters, I'm not caught up on that, but he's doing his thing on that. And then Snyder, Night of the Ghoul, I loved it. Noctera, it's just a great kind of action type. Don't think about it too hard. And it's just volume, man. Snyder's just doing all kinds of stuff. I loved, which one I really enjoyed was his what was that digital that came out?
He did Clean.
It was
he did Canary.
Pro Style.
Canary. What was the other one he had?
That Force Fighter comic, the Dark Places.
Not the Dark Spaces. It was the Pro Style.
With Lemire? Was it with Lemire? The one he did with Lemire that was kind of
with Jock Snyder, with Jock what was it? Something evil. L, help me out here.
Yeah, she's saying something evil.
But evil something. Yeah. But that was crazy, man. So
okay. I'll have to check that out. That's a Comixology original, you're saying?
Comixology, yeah.
Yeah.
That was really
he signed a pretty big deal with them, eh?
Yeah,
he's pumping it out. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like 6 or 7. Book of Evil. Thank you.
Book of Evil.
Book of Evil was really good, man.
Isn't Dark Horse like reprinting all those and putting out the
Yeah.
trades for him?
Dark Horse signed a deal with Comixology to put out their books in print.
And then I got the first trade for Noctera. I really liked it. I actually want a Sci-Fi Channel to do a show for that. I think like that would be really really fun for them. I think it like would land really well on that channel.
Yeah, it's just one of those, those books that you don't. It's not too heavy. You don't got to think about it too hard, right? You just kind of go in and you enjoy the dope, art, the visuals, and then it's just action packed story, man.
Hell yeah.
Good premise.
All right. Next up, we have breakout artists, people who are really just making their name right now in comics.
All right, Kevin Anthony Catalan. I read his Space Knight at the beginning of last year and was blown away. This guy.
Show us your shirt, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah.
That's dope.
This guy, I put him right up there with Daniel Warren Johnson when it comes to drawing action sequences.
Yeah.
The dude is just awesome. Like I can't say enough good things about his art. Then next up we have Zoe. I think a couple of you have her on your nominations. So Red Rain this year, enjoyed it. And I've been digging her. I've been following her on social media for a long time. She posts a lot of her work. So she's definitely a fun follow on social media. And I've got Marco Fontanelli. I was following him on social media before I made the connection with his work at Scout, like King Jura. I only realized after who he was. And he was putting out like his own version of Batman and stuff like this, these mini comics, and he was putting them out and you could just go get them for free. And that's how I started following him. Then he started doing work for Scout and I was like, damn. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like the other one he has for Scout is the 5-part anthology series called the Phantogram of Horror.
Yeah,
and that's fun. If you enjoy horror, pick that one up as well.
Yeah,
it's really fun book. And those are my 3 to look out for because all 3 of them are super talented. So
that's
Marco pumps a lot of work.
Yeah, and all 3 are very active on social media, which is the way I found them. Right, so. Man, they're great follows on Instagram.
For all the knock against Twitter and stuff, like I think all 3 of those guys I came through across their pages on Twitter, right? Like Kevin Anthony, we had him on the show a couple weeks back on their Spotlight. That's how I came across Space Nights. I said, "Yo, this is crazy," And then it's always, Space Knight is honestly is underrated. How cool that is, man. And he does everything on that book, right? So
he's a cartoonist, man.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah. So, see, when I found his stuff, his first he hadn't put out a second printing of his book yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought the PDF because he didn't even have physical copies left anymore.
Wow.
When I went,
yeah, I was honestly super impressed by that book, man. Yeah,
yeah, he's man. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets
picked up,
like does something big with Image, or gets maybe some work with doing like a mini series for Big Two somewhere or something. Like he's got
like doing a grand design type book. I could totally see him doing work like that.
Yeah.
Adriean.
Oh,
ooh, nice.
Yeah, I came across she had a book released last year, Commander Rao. It got nominated for a Ringo Award. Mm-hmm. And I
backed the Kickstarter. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's something about her style, and it's funny. Like I kind of look back at her work the last few years, and you just kind of see this evolution, in her work, right, getting a little more refined each year. Like her trajectory is definitely, heading towards like something great as far as I'm concerned, and just her uniqueness, like her style. Let's be honest, that's like a great name too, right? Fellhound, like fucking love that name, right? And then Commander Rao is just like, there's just so much emotion in this book. And then so she's got another one coming out this year called "And We Love You." I think it's just a one shot, and look up the cover for that again too. It's just they're just I don't know. It's gonna be sad for some reason. I'm gonna feel really just bummed about it. Like I said, I like her. Like I said, I just there's this distinctness to her, and I know that she's gonna pop, right? Because I know she's got a big following, in the LGBTQ community, and she
Didn't she get something picked up recently in one of her books?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, Commander Rao got optioned.
Got options, yeah.
It got options. So the fact she's just,
or it got picked up by Scout.
Well, it is
No,
on
option.
Scout. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So Commander Rao got re-released through Scout,
yeah, but it also got optioned after. Yeah,
it also
As
got
a
optioned as
film?
well.
I hadn't heard
Yes.
that. Wow.
Yeah. So actually, if you go to Scout's website now, they have a section of what titles were options.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool.
That's
So.
nice.
But yeah, no, it fell to like apart from her work, there's a bit of a Peach vibe to her as well, So I'm really curious to see where her work is in the next year or two. She's just such a sweetheart, just a really nice person, and very supportive of other creators and that. And yeah, she's kind of one of those people that the good that she puts out in the world is definitely going to come back to her. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does, mostly with her writing. Like the artwork, I'm pretty confident, that she's going to put out something, it's going to get better and better. But her writing is just, there's something really emotional about it, and something real, I guess. I love to see how she kind of like hides her face too, right? So she adds like a bit of mystery to the whole persona, So yeah, for me, it's
actually we have the same local shop here in the city.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is how
Gotham?
No, Cyber City Comics.
Ah, okay.
So one of the employees there, he actually put me on to Fell. And he's like, oh yeah, she's putting out a book right now, Commander Rao, on Scout. So I hit her up and yeah, she's like the nicest person, one of the nicest, sweetest persons I met in the comic community, and for sure you can kind of see her trajectory is just gonna she's ready to kind of like pop.
Yeah, it's like
a pretty good follower.
Yeah. It's like right now, if it's like she's a penny stock, right? You're buying her for 50 cents a share. This time next year, she's gonna be like $100 a share. You know what I mean? Like I just she's just got, like I said, she's got a really wicked following. But
at the end of the day, it's just it's really just a nice, and she's just the energy she puts out, man.
Yeah. Oh, too, and that goes a long way. Creators, to just be nice, right? Because I mean, people are interested in you and your work and that, and so you got to stop, take the time, and she does. She takes her time.
Did you see her cover for Chuck Satterley's? It's like a superhero joint, and it's like he's kind of like flying up, and it's like point of view from down on the ground, and he's up in the skyscrapers.
1 second, I got her Instagram here.
Check that one out, man. But yeah, she's gonna pop for sure.
Yeah, no, and it's nice to follow someone this early in the game that is going to do something, and I'm looking forward to her. No longer returning phone calls, right? You know what I mean? To be that big, right? So good for her. I hope so. Hope she gets
man. Some in the water here, man.
Yeah.
Top talent, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the one, Al. I think that was the one.
Monsters and Midways. Okay.
Yeah. I seen it. I said, wow, that's cool, man. Yeah.
All right, Johnny.
I got Zoe Thurgood, of course. Joe actually put me on to her. He said, check out her Instagram. Her art's really rad. And I looked it up, and I was blown away. And then Rain was just about to start coming out, so I started picking that up. And I had a lot of fun with that. I really liked the art in it a lot. But what she dropped later this year, the It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth, just completely rocked my world. It's just such a beautiful, just amazing little graphic novel. You learn so much about her, and I don't know how she could just put that out about herself like that and just be it's so brave, but also just, I don't know, I really enjoyed her look at herself and just the way she put herself out there. I thought it was just adorable, but also just a heartfelt read, man. It made me realize things about myself. Like I can't recommend "It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth" enough. Just a really good book.
Johnny,
Next,
that's my one shot of the year, man. It's fucking amazing. Yeah.
and then we got Soroush Barizak. He does a book at a Dark Horse called Kings of Nowhere, which only has one graphic novel out. It's a 100-pager. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like Sweet Tooth. Like these kids turn into animals for some reason. And this one, the main kid, he basically is like 10 years old. His dad's like this gangster who treats him and his mom bad, and like basically he teams up with these older kids and like smokes his dad. Like it's pretty hardcore. I thought it was going to be kind of like MFKZ type of silly book, but it's kind of like Sweet Tooth meets City of God. Like if you can imagine such a thing. Like I really enjoyed it. Kings of Nowhere is really good. Second book's supposed to be out March of 2023. So
I believe he's Canadian too, eh?
is he? I didn't look up where he was from. I kind of figured he might have been Brazilian or something
He's
because
from
of.
well, he might be. Yeah, but I think right now he resides in Ontario somewhere. I don't know if it's Toronto or. Because when I was doing it, I read up like they had a thing, and I saw that he was in Ontario, I believe, when I was putting the stuff together. So, yeah.
And then last, I got Miss Luana Vecchio, who is just incredible. I love her sense of humor. I love her ghastliness, the way she plays around with terror and gore and sex, the way she does in Lovesick. I can't wait to see what she does further on. Like if this is like her first solo book, like oh my god, what career does she have for us to check out, man? Like I am in awe. I can't wait to see. So yeah, those are my breakout artists.
I'm definitely gonna check out the King of Nowhere. That looks pretty cool.
That's on Image, yeah.
No, it's Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, King of Nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that looks interesting. Okay. Yeah, my breakout was it was a no-brainer. Luana Vecchio from like issue 1 of Bolero. I was blown away. I love her style. I love her color palette. It's so sexy. It's so vibrant. And then of course Lovesick, man. You know, we've been pushing that book hard, and it's just great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we were lucky enough. We got I think the first 3 or 4 issues reviewed, and just each subsequent issue, you just think, okay, like you can't shock you no more. It just gets better, man.
Yeah, we talked about issue 2 last week. I was not expecting the furries, man, but like that was great. That had me rolling. Like
that's cool, man. Yeah, wait till you read number 3, and then she's another one of those people, just super kind, super sweet. You know, humble, great to talk to. So yeah, Luana, like anything that she puts out, automatic.
Yeah.
That cover of that Bolero was really nice, by the way.
oh yeah.
Like that would have been like a cover pick.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have a mini series, graphic novel, or one shot. Joey, what you got for us?
Above Snakes. This is probably my favorite book of the year. Loved it. Sean Lewis with Hayden Sherman. Hayden Sherman killed it on this. He does the art and the colors. So I can't say enough good things about it. It's a fun revenge book. I mean, just the dialogue and the banter back and forth from the main character's name is Dirt, and he has a companion that's a vulture called Speck, and just the dialogue, the conversations they have is just sold me on this. I was laughing while reading this. There's some great lines in it that just crack me up. After that, I'll go with the Night Eaters. It's the same creative team that did Monstrous. They're putting out a 3-part original graphic novel. This is the first part. It's put out by, who is it? Who published it again? Abrams Art Books is the publisher. You can pick these up at any bookstore, so you don't even have to go to a comic shop. If you have a bookstore near you, you can pick it up there. And my last one was King Jira. This was a great one shot, like stylistically just fun. It was just a fun, stylistic book, man. It just had style for days. Like I
Goofy
love,
silly. Yeah.
yeah, I love
Mm.
Marco's work, and his style translated perfectly for like this goofy Godzilla take of a book. It's fantastic. People should go
Yeah,
read it. It's fun.
it kind of reminded me of an old MTV cartoon, but like as a
Yeah,
comic book. Yeah.
yeah. It's fun.
I
People
would
should
I
go
would
read
love to see his work in an animated
it.
platform. Like I
Yeah.
think it would just translates so well. Yeah.
Adrian.
Oh God, I just like I just bought this just for the cover. You know what I mean? I just like just the cover alone, and then I read the goddamn thing. Holy shit! I just like at the end of it, it just completely like just blindsided me. So it's just a classic tale of kid getting picked on, and then like a horror revenge story from there. So interior artwork, perfect companion to the exterior. It wasn't what I expected. It really wasn't what I
So
expected.
the
It's
whole
just
book looks like that? Nice.
yeah, pretty close, yeah. And I don't push that in front of me.
That's Black Caravan,
Black
right?
Caravan. I like Black Caravan a lot. I know Marco's got some titles on there as well. But yeah, I really, I mean, yeah, obviously if you like horror movies, if you like a revenge story, this one, and it's a quick read, but it's like I really, it's too bad just a one shot. Like I would have loved to seen them expand on this. I think it's almost a tragedy that it actually is just one book, but man, oh man, oh man, this one just like completely like floored me. It's good. Well done.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool.
As for me, I got It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth by Zoe Thurgood. Like I said, it's just a really neat, cute look into her life and kind of how she views herself. And just a neat look at, mental health problems and depression, which is great about the book is that it's not depressing at all, though. It's actually really kind of funny and it's just great, man. I can't appreciate the book enough or tell people to check it out. It's getting a lot of hype and it's for good reason. It really is the masterpiece people are telling you it is. I'm not kidding. And then I got Hit Me by Christina Faust and Priscilla Petraeus.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, but
He was the artist on Chariot, as she
did the art for
with
Chariot.
Brian Hill. Yeah.
And she also did Brilliant Trash with the Seeley brothers at Aftershock. I'm a big fan of her work, and it really shines in this book. Like this is a lot of fun. Kind of like Lovesick Light, I guess you could call it, but it kind of reminds me of a Chuck Palahniuk story too. Little Fight Clubby, little chokey style. A neat noir tale though. There's some kinky stuff in there, but that's why we like it. If you haven't checked it out yet, I can't recommend Hit Me enough. It's good fun, and yeah, it'll have you laughing. It'll have you cringing a little bit. Like it's almost an all around perfect comic. And then last but not least, I got Ghost Cage by Nick Dragotta and Caleb Goldnier. This is a sci-fi book. Basically, it's based on energy. Like this character is a new type of battery, and it kind of has to go through this the old guard of electricity. It fights coal, then it fights hydro and nuke. Like it just kind of goes up the ladder and proves that it's the premium form of energy in this kind of really neat manga-esque way. It really reminds me of like a Satomu Nihei manga. If you've ever checked out like stuff like Biomega or Blam, it's on that level. But Nick Dragotta's art is always just beautiful. Like as a big East to West fan, I just really loved Ghost Cage, and it's a 3-shot. I think it's going to be like a $9.99 trade paperback from Image, so it'll be nice cheap checkout. So yeah, get on it. Like I can't recommend it highly enough. And
Sequential Geek was saying West of Sundown. That is a great book. And it's an ongoing now. It got pushed to an ongoing, man. Yeah. I love the art in that. Great color palette. Yeah. So what category is this? Limited?
Yeah, minis, one shot, graphic novel.
Okay. So yeah, Vermilion from Behemoth / Sumerian.
Yeah. Great book.
Yeah. Man, I was not expecting that. I went into this one blind.
Yeah, I got it based on the cover alone.
Yeah, dope cover for sure. I love his art style. I don't even want to give a premise. I'll just say, guys, just check it out. If anything, maybe a bit of a content warning. You know,
Yeah, a little bit.
it's a little heavy, right?
Yeah.
Can be triggering to some, self-harm and things like that. What else do I got? How's the squared circle? I'm not a wrestling guy at all, but Chris Condon has mastered this genre of noir. This was great. Aftershock joint, loved it. Fun art in that one too.
I gotta do it. And that's bullshit. There's only one comic book about wrestling, and it's written by John Lees.
Yeah. Oh man. Where's Matt? How come he's not here, man? What's going on, bro?
He's working. Well, he's probably done work now, but yeah.
And then Johnny said it already, man. This is Lonely at the Center of the Earth is for me easily the best one shot of the year. A really poignant, intimate look at Zoe's kind of personal life, struggles with mental health, and she pokes fun at the fact that she doesn't necessarily understand how people can think it's relatable, but it really it is, and I think that's what makes it fun and charming. And it's a funny book, a lot of great techniques in here, mixed media. And then my naughty list is the biggest stinker, biggest pile of caca.
This is another bait pick for L, because you got to be like yeah, real talk. Real talk. If you watch The House of Nerds, you know exactly what I'm referring to. Real talk.
but listen, as much as it's a bait pick, I sincerely hated this book. I thought it was
real talk, y'all. Real talk.
There's only one other book that I would even that I didn't. There's not too many books that I straight up didn't like.
Yeah.
The ones was one of them from Bendis, from Dark Horse. And then this was just it was not it. It's that bad. It's that bad. And
who's doing it? Like, I don't know if I know that one. It's an Image book.
It's Image. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But I found it. Yeah. It was not good. Al, I lost all respect for you when you put that in your top 3 of the week, man. I said, you're off the show. Get out of here.
I didn't have any this year. Last year I had one, but not this year. I couldn't find one. Yeah. 2 guns. I didn't like the 2 guns. Sam and his talking gun, or whatever the fuck it was. That one made my naughty list last year.
You fully had it in your top. Stop playing. Get out of here. You lost all credibility with the community with that one.
Yeah.
This is the big one. This is the last one. This is ongoing series. Joseph.
Yeah, I'm going with one of my favorites was Heavy Metal Drummer. It's just a fun comic. Like, it's got some weird space. I don't know how to describe it. Surreal, psychedelic, like with these alien kind of a little bit They Live vibes. It's a trip. It's fun read. People should go check it out. It's just what's his name? Tokidi. I think he's the one who does the colors for the Tokebi. Oh, yeah. He does the colors for the trippy parts. And if you go follow him on Instagram, you'll see like he does these super hot colors, like almost fluorescent. And I think he's the one who colors, because the artist is Luca Vesayo, and he does colors as well. But I think he does it on the main world, like when you're in reality. And then Tokebi comes in and does the colors on top of his drawings for the psychedelic, surreal scenes in the else world, the mirror world. Anyway, and it's a trip. It's fun. I really enjoyed this book. Silver Coin, I have to put it in there. It's one of those books that I love the concept. Different writer for each story with the same artist all throughout. And you get some gems of stories in there. Like it's a fun series. It's one I look forward to each month. One of the rare books that I look forward to each month. So Silver Coin is definitely a fun one. Want to put the screen back? I can't. Oh yeah, Probably one of the few big two books that I read that I've kept on my pull is Batman Beyond. I love that series because the stories actually have a conclusion, man. It's not like this non-stop fucking ongoing, let's reboot the character. Like, Commissioner Gordon's dead, he stays dead. I mean, I just love a story that actually has a conclusion, right? Who doesn't? So this and the art in it, like, how can you not? Murphy's art in this is fantastic. Like, from the beginning, I mean, even though he puts Batman in fuck me boots, I mean, I can get over that. You know, like, it's a great series. People should read it. It's fun. And my naughty, I pulled another naughty, not because it's bad, but because it's naughty. This I waited till I had all 5 issues before reading it, because the pacing in this book, like Faithless, the first part, second part, third part, the pacing is amazing. And I find it's so much better to read all throughout. Like, I didn't want to wait month to month for that, so I waited till I had all 5. Then I tore right through it, and it's a great conclusion to the story. So I'd say it's 15 parts total. Each arc was five issues, and loved Faithless. Like, I was looking forward to it.
So 3's the end?
So much.
Okay.
Yeah, supposedly. That's what I read. This is supposed to be the end. Yeah, so it was a fun conclusion, a satisfying conclusion. I don't think I could show it. Will we get banned on YouTube if I show something like...
Only if somebody reports it, so go ahead and flash it, man. I don't care.
I got the connecting covers, and let me tell you, man, the connecting covers, like, go hard.
Yeah.
Like,
holy.
They go
one
real-
more time, Joey, for my degenerate eyes.
yeah, they
That's like some Avatar press shit, dog. Like, I ain't seen
They
covers
go-
like that since...
they go real hard. Like,
Oh, that's like Japanese businessmen right there.
oh yeah, yeah. It's I was like, yeah. And that's just one. There's 5 like that, you know. So yeah,
Jesus
so-
Christ.
Yeah.
Covers, eh?
Yeah, they're connecting exactly.
That's pretty
All
cool.
5. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's
You
pretty
gotta,
cool.
you gotta put that on the
I was
social.
like, I couldn't wait to open the next one. Right? I was like, holy shit! They come bagged in the you know, with the slip so you can't see it, right? So, man, it was a treat. It was like Christmas. It was like Christmas morning each issue. Each time I got to the next issue, right? So
Yeah, it's like Christmas morning, but with anal beads.
yeah, exactly. It was fun. Good stuff. So those are mine.
Oh, look, Cookie's back in the chat. She saw the degeneracy, and she's like, "Ooh." she likes
Gutter.
the covers.
Hashtag gutter gang, man.
Oh, fuck it all.
Yo, you gotta DM or post on the socials the connecting covers. I gotta see that now, buddy.
Yeah, I'll put them together and I'll take a picture and I'll.
Well, we're here now, so
Yeah.
Oh well, I only have this one with me. The other ones are in the other rooms, so I'll put them
Not
all
prepared.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't even be able to hold all 5 up, so it looks, you know.
Man, that's awesome.
fuck it all, Joe.
I didn't even know they had extra super perfect covers for that comic, man.
Yeah.
The super perv variant.
What was it? Who started? Who got the train going for that? It was Money Shot. They were putting out their black bag ones for Vault. I think Vault started putting out those black bag ones, and then Sweet
Image
Paprika
does them
started
now,
doing
too.
it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fuck it
I remember that goddamn Tim Vigil blacklisted, for God's sake. I mean, we live in a veritable golden age at this point, man.
Modern golden age, baby.
Adriean, man, I didn't even know this was out. I'm gonna have to check this out, man. I loved it.
I love how I gotta follow Joe's bomb there, right? So Jesus, well, like TNA now. I gotta I don't know, pull my dick out. Okay, so it's funny. Like I've been absolutely like the last few months, I've been absolutely burnt out with comics, right? Just because I'm trying to get this last one done and all that. So it's really hard for me to my to read pile is so fucking huge right now. So this one I picked up just because of the cover. I thought, why not, right? And then it's like I read it. Well, first I looked at the inside. So Joe Cooper is the artist, and the interior work. I don't know if you guys read this yet.
No,
This is volume 2. I didn't know there was a volume 1, but so this is a volume 2 run. The artwork it's a lot like the cover, but there's God,
It's
there's like,
Dynamite, so I know like how their comics art usually looks. So
but
does it
the
kind of
artwork, the interior though, there's so much depth. It's almost like there's like it's almost like a trick of the eye. Like there's like movement to it. You know what I mean? Like things are just popping, and so I'm going to dive into this artist because I want to see what else he does, right? Because I'm so fascinated by this. But anyway, so I picked it up out of a lark. I didn't know anything about it, and then I sat down. I'm like, fuck it, I'll read it. The artwork, whatever, blew me away. But just like the pacing of the story. So it's like basically they're putting together like 6 or 7 girls that are kidnapped and brought to this compound to be trained into becoming assassins. But they're kind of basically pitted against each other, right? So it's like, kill or be killed kind of thing, right? So they're kind of forming little factions and they're brutal deaths, just like how they handled that many characters and how each character had a voice and each character was unique enough that you remember their names at the end of the issue. And it was fast, like the pacing was absolutely amazing. So when you have good pacing and brilliant artwork and memorable characters, so like then I'm like, okay, I grabbed issue 2. I'm like, Jesus, and then like grabbed issue 3 right away, and now it's on my pull file, and it's just like, man, it's just one of those things I just did not see coming. I didn't really see much write up on it. Like I like Dynamite. Like I don't mind like the Jennifer Blood series. It's kind of light reading for me in that. And apparently these characters came out of the Jennifer Blood run. But man, seriously, guys, like I'm telling you, like you got to jump into this. Just take a look at it. Just start looking into the artist, right? This Joe Cooper guy, and then. Like, so I'm really curious to see what else he's like, what else he's done, because I'm just like, I'm an instant fan. This is just based on just this run right here. But there's just something, there's just a freshness to this, like the story's not original. Like, I mean, the story's been told a million times, right? But just like, it's just
the delivery.
I'm in because I really like Jennifer Blood. Like I read it back when Garth Ennis was writing it, so I didn't know that they were still carrying that on. So that's gangster. When I saw
it's still going, So I bought the last little bit there, and it's good. It's just a fun read, but yeah, man, like Ninjats is just like I said, nobody talks about it. Like nobody talks about this series, and like I said, just next reality shop, just open one up, and I'm really curious what you guys are going to think, like first impression. But yeah,
I actually think I have a couple of those books lying around, just cover buys, man. That very one,
crack it open, seriously, just crack it open, man. It's just like
those two,
so clean, like clean. It's almost like, I swear to God, it's just animation in front of you. You just like you can see it moving. That's the thing, when you can visualize like the work. You can see how each character would potentially move. It's it's anyway. Technically, it's spot on.
All right, I have to inform you guys, but I'm going to be that guy. I am that guy. Like Saga. I hate to have it on here, man. Like I was pissed they took like a decade-long break off the damn book. Like, but I got the trade as soon as it came out. Like it came out like right as soon as I was getting out of the hospital. And dude, it is just so good. Like fuck, I hate loving this book as much as I do because it's just it's that book that everybody knows. But there's a reason for that, man. Fiona Staples' art is just so clean and so gorgeous, and the characters that BKV writes, man, like he is Canada's greatest export. Like no doubt about it, man. I love BKV, and Saga's killing it.
He's not Canadian. His wife is.
I thought he was. That's why he did that Canadian sci-fi book.
No, but I think his wife is Canadian, but he's American. Yeah, so he might have lived in Canada for a while because his wife is Canadian. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to insult you, Joe.
No, I just found that out this year when I was listening to a podcast. Was it? Anyway, I think it might have been Cartoonist Kayfabe. I think they had him on, and I think I learned that there. Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with probably my favorite comic book of all time, Usagi Yojimbo. I always love getting back into it. I am still having so much trouble like getting used to it being in color, but whatever. That's kind of a small gripe to have. But like Stan Saki, he's just still killing it. I really love what's going on right now with Usagi and the kid and their travels. It's really really fun, kind of lone wolf and cubbish. Like, dude, just so good. And then, of course, man, it's over. It's
Deadly
done.
Class.
It's my favorite comic that's been out for like a decade. Like, I love Deadly Class. It's almost perfection. If you like punk rock, if you like Rick Remender, there's no excuse not to read it. It is just so good. If you like Frank Miller, if you like 90s comics, man, like Deadly Class just fits so many grooves perfectly. And like if you've never checked it out, like now's a great time because it's all over. You can binge the bitch now. But anyways, man, it's
Johnny, what is Deadly Class about? Because I've heard good things, and I'm like tempted just because of Remender.
it's basically about this kid who gets brought to this school for assassins, and they learn all
Yeah.
the ways, and it's all these different rich kids or people from different crime families who have kids that are learning to be the prime assassins, and basically they get all these different games played against each other to see who's the top, and kind of all this weird kind of stuff happens in between, and it just Rick Remender, he loves his cliffhangers, man. That's why I'm saying, like, it's probably great for people that never checked it out to read it now because you don't have to wait between trades like I did with those evil ass Rick Remender cliffhangers. But yeah, dude,
Right.
I think you'll really like it. The main
Okay.
character Marcus, he's kind of a little smartass, but it's good Latino representation in comics. Actually, like, it's got a very diverse cast,
Cast.
anyways.
Mhm.
It almost
Yeah.
sounds like a X-Men School for the Gifted Japanese triad kind of
That's a
thing.
good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Something
has a little
like
bit of everything. Yeah, yeah.
that? Okay, I'll check that out, man. Yeah.
Well, they throw a lot of love to classic X-Men comics too. There's a really great
Yeah.
scene where Marcus and Willie are talking about comics, and Marcus is talking about Love and Rockets and their Hernandez brothers, and Willie's like, "No, dude, Chris Claremont and the Dark Phoenix saga, it's the best shit." And Marcus is like, "I don't know, man." And Willie like actually pulls a gun to his head and like, "No, motherfucker, Chris Claremont, the Dark Phoenix saga, it's the best comic ever." He's like, "Okay, yeah." It's
I'll check that out, man, for sure. Okay.
all right, and Sergio.
Yeah, I went with something a little bit different because I know
Mm.
folks already know that how much I'm
Philadelphia,
into-
Texas blood. Yeah.
That's it. See, Joey knows me. You know me,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. That's why I was like, newborn. Where's fucking Philadelphia and Texas blood? I was like, what the fuck?
So
Keeping
those
us
are
on our
those, man.
toes, man. I like it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think this was a little bit slept on. This was really great, kind of like a crime periodical type series from Zdarsky, and it deals with kind of like the crime families of New York. It almost works as their lawyer or detective. He's solving things for them, and I enjoyed it. Jacob Phillips' art. I love it from that Texas bus. So I was looking forward to digging into this. It's good to begin with, but it really, you can see as the series goes along, it gets so much better, and he really gets into his zone. He really wants get out. Oh, you wish, man. You wish. But yeah, you can see like issue 5, 6, and on how Phillips really kind of comes into his own in the series and finds his groove, and just yeah, I found it kind of like almost like television, man. You want to know kind of like those kind of crime dramas, what happens next type deal. So it was cool, man. Underrated. That's why I picked that one. Yeah, for me, for whatever reason, I always find like ongoing's a little bit more difficult. There's a whole bunch of like sick limited or minis or maxis, but ongoing, excuse me, seems to be a little bit trickier. So
I tend to kind of avoid them if they're kind of already into the meat of it. Like I'll kind of avoid them until they're almost done, and then I'll try to check out an ongoing most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the other thing too, right? So it's just that attention span, right?
Yeah.
4 issues, 6 issues, like and then you move on. So
yeah. What do you guys like for a run? Like how many issues do you guys usually like in a run?
It depends on the story in the book, I guess. Like sometimes you'll get 6 and you're like, okay, that felt like a stretch. Sometimes you'll get 3 and you're like, oh, I wish it would have more. So it's I'm of the mind always leave them wanting more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
well,
I'd rather finish a book and be like, I want more than finish a book and be like, I've had enough. You know, like so. I like 4 to 5 issues is probably the best. I think.
Yeah.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
See, for ongoings, like, and I'll go back to my 2 favorites, Philadelphia and That Texas Blood.
Yeah.
They're already like TTB's on issue 20, Philadelphia's on like 26, and you're getting into that kind of like, I don't want it to slow down anytime soon.
Yeah.
You know, the quality has not taken a dip at all, man. And that's rare for especially for an independent title to get into the 20s, and it's still, the quality's so high, and you're still like, fuck, man, what's happening in the next issue? So I think it depends on the quality, and if you've got story to tell and you're not giving like filler issues,
yeah,
that's what counts. Because for me, it's like, okay, this is just filler. You're filling out the arc. No, man, you know, then I kind of cut, right? So,
but on an ongoing, sometimes I like them to throw in just that one issue that's self-contained. Like, they deviate from the story and they just give you this one, like, really, whoa, what's this? And then it's like this one little self-contained, and they get back to it, right? Sometimes it's fun once in a while when they throw that into an ongoing.
It's like a bridge. It's like a bridge story. Yeah.
Or they come revisit it later on down the line, or you know, or there's maybe not a main character, but then they'll follow like one of the side characters and give them one issue and really dive into their backstory or something like that. That doesn't really connect directly to the main overall storyline that's going on. That's always fun when they do stuff like that.
I tapped out at Philadelphia, I think issue 1920.
Yeah,
and I kind of regret it. I'll probably backtrack because I just
I've only read the first trade, but like I mean to read it, but like I said, man, like it's just so long in the tooth. Like I'm gonna probably wait till it's almost done and then get to the ending, so I don't have to wait for it.
It's really good. It's really good. I don't even know why I stopped. I don't know. I really don't know.
I took it off because Rodney Barnes is such a big name now that I'm like, his books are going to get hardcovers, and I'll just pick them up in hardcover.
I feel like
with the bigger hardcover, man.
Yeah, when the bigger name creators now, I don't get their books, and I just get the hardcovers when they come out.
Did Philadelphia get options at all?
It did. It's been optioned for a minute. Yeah.
Curious what's going to happen with that. So that's got Jordan Peele written all over it.
They better do a show though. Like I don't see that working as a movie.
It's got to be a series. It has to be a series. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the story's great. I love the premise.
What I love about that series is, so it starts off like, you know, in the first place, it's a vampire genre, but just to jump off, it's got a different twist. It mixes in like his American historical.
I love the whole
the genre bleeding.
Right. Though I did love the beginning, like when it was like, you know, a father and son story, you know, kind of surrounded by, you know, like a vampire setting.
And then where he's taken the story is really like literally opened up this universe to include, like, it's really like a battle for good and evil, and it's not just a simple vampire tale, right? So it's really great, man. I love it.
And that bonus story, and they had that I don't know which issue they started, like that bonus story,
Elysian Gardens.
Oh my god, yeah. I don't know why I stopped. I gotta really get back into it.
It's cool shit, man.
Yeah.
And Texas Blood, is that going to be a show too? Because like I can see that being one. That's another vampire story too, right? God.
That one, it deserves something. Yeah, but we'll see though. You know what? Honestly, it's like, I don't know. Sometimes like these shows can be so disappointing. Like, did you guys watch Paper Girls?
No, I saw the Why the Last Man show. That was garbage.
I wasn't into Paper Girls at all, man. If I'm being honest.
I didn't know that there was a Paper Girls until like a couple of weeks ago when Joey told me, and I haven't got to check it out yet.
It was. I don't know. Maybe I was expecting. I was almost expecting like a Stranger Things kind of, you know, quality or whatever show. I mean, it was fine. It had its moments, but to be honest, it nothing.
BKV's getting the shit into the stick when it comes to adaptations, then, huh? Like,
Yeah,
Why the
man.
Last Man Ends, Paper Girls both were blue. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard
who's
there.
FX or Amazon for Killa. I don't see FX. I don't think they're there yet in terms of quality. It won't do a book like Philadelphia
And
Justice.
something's Kill the Children. I think it's a Netflix option.
Netflix, I can see. If
Netflix
that,
has
no,
the
budget.
Yeah,
you have
no,
the
but
budget, so.
I think they do
Netflix,
have. I think they do have
yeah.
something.
Well, I
Kill
think
the
something
Children.
that Killing the Children would be way easier to do than Philadelphia. I mean, at
Oh,
least
for sure.
cheaper to do.
Yeah.
Because you just need a small town. You need...
Well, too, and then the whole House of Slaughter, like the masks, right? It's a very simple design, right? It's instantly identifiable, right? So I mean, there's a lot that they can play off of, live action. It could be
I
quite,
think that's the key. With something that's killing the children, like you don't need a big budget. I almost call me crazy, but I almost have I picture an aesthetic of that season 1 of Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Small town. A lot of the shots are in the nighttime.
Well, they don't even really show the monsters at all either in the first couple arcs, at least, too. Like, they kind of keep the monsters in the shadows.
So
absolutely,
that's what I see. I mean, I don't know, man, but
stylistically, I think it would be perfect, right? So sometimes when you got like the big, whatever, like Jupiter's Legacy, like that was, I don't know, that was a bit of a letdown too. Like that thing, Jupiter's Legacy should have been an animated. I think that might have, maybe would have, had a little bit more.
Especially if they did it in Frank Quitely's style. Man, I'd love to see his style in animation.
Yeah.
But all right, that was our naughty or nice list. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys got a 4-hour show out of this mofo, man.
It's like a Kevin Costner movie.
I am breaking out in sweats and getting chills because I have to piss so bad.
I just left. I just
I almost did. I was like, oh man, I held it out. I've had to piss since the 2.5-hour mark.
Oh, you're an animal. You're a machine.
All right, let's have that talk about Cobra Kai then. Like, if Joe's got to pee, let's
we can go off air. But all right, so we're back. So that was our naughty and nice. We're taking a break for the holidays. We'll be back January 6th with our Pink Distortion, or the music show, because it'll be the first Friday of the month. And then we'll be back with our 49th episode, and then we'll probably have something planned special for the 50th coming back after from the holiday break. So, man, I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays, because you won't be seeing us again until after New Year's. So anyone that's still watching, have a great holidays, or anyone that catches the replay, have a great holiday.
And Joey, you're on the show on Sunday, baby. Sunday, you're with us.
Yeah.
Party with the lights on, people.
Good night, guys.